Hello and welcome to week 4 coverage for Sandhills for college football and Overwatch. We are fast approaching the playoffs, so I am very excited to see how these players are keeping up with their competitors throughout every single game. They're getting more and more important, Chris. So we got a few awesome games today. We got Pine Forest versus Northside Onslow. We've got Virtual Academy versus Riverside. Some exciting stuff today. How are you feeling today, Chris?
Feeling really good, excited for another week of esports. Starting with college football is always a good way to get it kicked off, quite literally, at some times. But as you said, we passed the halfway mark. A lot of teams are going to have to start separating themselves if they want to make it to the playoffs here.
Sure thing, yeah. There's only so many more matches where you can prove the skills that you've got to make it to that state championship, and it's going to be a big deal. One way that you can make sure that those skills are up to par, though, is by watching our coaching videos. We've got Drini to do the college football videos, Jake from Overwatch, DeBuzz for Smash, and, of course, our favorite Chief Beef for Rocket League. But before I tell you all about it, let's just go ahead and jump into a video to tell you all about our coaches.
Overwatch player Jake, known for his versatility across multiple heroes and consistent top-tier performance. Or refine your Smash Bros. Knowledge with DeBuzz, renowned for his consistent tournament success and high-profile victories. Cover strategy with 11-time Madden champion Drini, one of the youngest and most dominant competitors in the Madden esports scene. Need help locking down your aerials? Try Rising Star Chief Beef's course on competitive Rocket League. Whether you're a filthy casual or a seasoned tryhard, get 8 straight weeks of exclusive expert game knowledge crafted for you every Friday, with the first videos dropping October 11th. That's 32 total videos covering everything you need to know about your favorite games, from fundamentals to high-level strategy. You'll learn positioning and teamwork, defensive and offensive strategy, practice routines, game sense, communication, mental and emotional resilience, all the way down to analyzing meta and adapting to change. Everyone has something to learn and enjoy, and these courses are completely free. So what are you waiting for? Go to thenotwork.org/register to sign up and get access to these courses every Friday.
Thank you so much to all of our coaches. They did such a phenomenal job with these videos, and more are on the way. So keep up to date. You might have seen the first couple, but keep in mind they're coming out every single Friday, so don't forget to check out the new ones every week. So I'm super excited to see what the coaches put together, how much they improve you guys' game. I want to talk a little bit about our first matchup, though. So we got Pine Forest and Northside Onslow B. So if you've been keeping track of the leaderboard, you've noticed that Northside Onslow B is at the very top, scoring 187 points and only allowing 16. That is insane. 171-point differential. But then they're going up against Pine Forest, who hasn't had a successful, as far as the win and loss column, but all of their matches have been extremely close. They've only lost by a handful of points each time. Can they put up the numbers to deal with Northside Onslow? It feels like Onslow's defense may be a bit stronger than other players, or maybe they haven't matched a competitor that is quite at their level just yet. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this one shakes out, but let's stop talking about it and let's just see what happens. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1. And look at this. No intro required. We're going straight into the action. Looks like the team choices, it's going to be Ohio State, which is Northside Onslow's team of choice, I think, for the most part. And we saw right there in that first play some of those juke skills that we've gotten accustomed to seeing from Northside Onslow.
We have, and then on the upside side for Pine Forest is the University of Miami, who is going to have the home field advantage for this game. But starting out with the run there, pretty successful, getting 4 yards. We'll have to see. Again, we'll see in this mechanic where they decide to swap around some of the players and abilities that they have. You know, you want to make good use of those, as we've seen most of the top players doing this. And it usually works out really well for them. So if that's something you don't know, take a look into it. Maybe it can help your play as well while we get into it. But again, as you've said, we've seen a really high goal or score deficit for the side of Northside Onslow. So that's keeping them in the lead now. And of course, as Eli was saying, you want to make sure that that score is as high as possible against your opponent, because that does help you in the rankings. If you have a team that you're tied with in wins and losses, that point differential will be the deciding factor on who gets that higher seed. So make sure that you're playing both offense and defense. But for some of these players, we've seen the best defense is a good offense. So we'll have to see how they play out here. And maybe for the side of Pine Forest, as you said, they haven't lost by much. So maybe they have a good defense. But against a player who's, scoring hundreds of points, in that point differential, they'll have to, turn up the offense as well. So right now, we'll have to see if they can minimize the mistakes maybe they make that have those little low-scoring games, and see if they can come out on top versus Northside today.
Absolutely. We see another run play come through. Juke to the right, gets around the first defender. Second one's going to finally take him down, but this is what we've become accustomed to seeing from Northside Onslow. So effective at moving down the field and getting to the end zone. I mean, they're averaging over 60 points a game across their first three, and I'm pretty sure one of them was a forfeit win. So that means they might be averaging 90 points a game, which is just an absurd number in a game like this. But we might see why he's had so much success, as he is blitzing down this field.
2 runs, very successful on both of them. There we go, see the drop back, but a great defensive play out of Pine Forest is going to stop that pass from coming out. We saw that a lot last week as well, kind of that lateral pass into a throw play coming out from some players. Maybe it's a really popular play right now amongst the college football players, but sometimes if you don't get that pass off in enough time, it's going to end up like that and you'll lose some yards. But again, it's 3rd and 9 with how well they've been doing on offense. I don't think they're going to be sweating too much. There's the throw into the first down. They're going to juke one, finally get hit. But of course, no sweat off of their backs there. Able to pick up the first down and moving down the field really quickly.
So effective at choosing the right target to throw the ball to, or just choosing to not throw at all and running it into the open pocket. And as we see here, the handoff into the run, and this one looks like it could just find the end zone, just has to get past the last defender. Defender jumps out of bounds instead of tackling the target, and there we go, touchdown, Northside Onslow picking up where they left off.
We'll have to see if they decide to go for that 2-point play, which it does look like they are setting up for. We see this a lot at the beginning when the stakes aren't too high. Getting that 2-point, of course, gives them a little bit of breathing room against their opponent if their opponent opts to go for the more traditional field goal. But there it is. The throw is good, and they will convert.
Just barely, too. That player was tracking out of bounds and catches it at the last second. And you're right. I think that just applies a little bit of extra pressure to the opponent, because now they're thinking, oh, well, now if I score a touchdown, I kind of have to go for the 2-point just to keep up, and just adding that level of pressure, forcing them to, I guess, to actually perform in moments like that is a pressure that some of these players might not be used to feeling against other opponents.
We saw the kick from Northside. They do a really good job of making sure it kind of lands in between the 20 and 10. I'm going to miss that throw there, but back to the point of the one great thing I've seen out of Northside is just their ability to kick off in the point where they don't really allow a touchback. And if they want to run, then their opponent usually doesn't have much room to make up for, because they're in between that 10 and 20 yard line here. We see once again, they're utilizing some of these mechanics here. This actually may be the Northside player who's switching around his offense this time, as again, we are on the viewpoint of the Pine Forest High A player, so of course we can't really see what's going on the opposite end. But as we've seen in previous weeks before, they do like to move everything around. They like to make sure everything is pinpoint for their offense going forward, and so far it's worked. So if it's working, they might as well keep doing it. Don't fix what's not broken. We're going to see what they decide to do on defense here. And first offensive play for the side of Pine Forest. Throw is going to be good. Tries to get the juke, but still is able to pick up the first down.
Big play. Yeah, I mean, pretty handily makes it to that first down. We saw a little bit of juke too, so this player's starting to show they've got some of those skills when it comes to getting around defenders. We'll have to see if that comes into play as this game progresses. Looks like first and 10. It's going to be another short pass. This time bounces off a defender. Does he catch it out of midair after the bounce? That was insane.
Unfortunately not. So if we see this replay here, if it does go through, look, it bounces, almost comes up, almost catches it, but was unable to grab it. I think they would have been able to pick up a couple extra yards if they did, but it is going to be 2nd and 10. They'll drop back for another pass. This time it will be successful, and they will pick up the first down.
Very good first down again. But, yeah, I think did it bounce off of his own hand, and then he went and caught it afterwards? I mean, thinking about that in real life, sounds like it would take some pretty impressive reaction time. But here we go. Another run down the middle. It's probably going to get a handful of yards. Yeah, just 3 for now. 2nd and 7, so some forward progress. But Pine Forest really would like to score a touchdown in this drive. Do not want to turn this over because of how potent Northside is on offense. As we see an interception as I cast or curse the man right before our eyes. Unfortunately, is going to force the interception.
Eli does have to be careful with this caster curse. We saw it happen last week with all those interceptions. But again, Northside showing why they are so dominant and #1 on our leaderboard right now, playing both offense and defense. There's a juke. They're going to pick up the first down. Can they be stopped? And another juke is going to get them possibly to the end zone. They walk it in, and immediately after the interception, getting a touchdown.
And you're starting to see why they have such a high point conversion on the leaderboard. I think just scoring vastly more points than anyone else. Their offense is so strong. It took him just one play to find the end zone. This time he says, all right, I'll kick the upright. Don't need to get the 2-point conversion every time. And like you said, usually very strong on the kickoff. Force it out of bounds in some situations, but here it's just going to be a touchback.
Pine Forest back on offense this time. They did really well in their first couple of drives on that opening drive for them. This time they'll have to be a little more careful with those throws. You know, you don't want to throw too many turnovers there. Here we see another long throw, though. The receiver is wide open. Is going to pick that, get the juke on the first defender, and finally get taken down. But coming out of the gate swinging here, this is exactly what they look for in really good field position off of just one play.
Massive opening throw from this play, and another good one as well. In just 2 plays, they are on the 9-yard line, I believe, or sorry, 6-yard line. So they're very close to just getting at least one touchdown behind their opponent, but they've got to make it happen here. Would really hate to see another turnover, touchdown, or interception, but instead it's going to be a walk forward. Not sure if they got any positive movement off of that. Looks like 2 yards added. Now, would like to get this one to the end zone right here, right now, if they can.
Setting up for another run out wide. They should be able to pick it up, and there it is, touchdown for Pine Forest. So, mistake on their first offensive. Second one, we saw a lot better play, throwing to those open receivers and then running it when necessary. They are going to go for that 2-point conversion, kind of feeling a little bit of the pressure from those first 2 touchdowns. There's the throw, but it's good.
Wait, what?
He catches it.
What happened there? Did it bounce off the receiver's hand and then he just snagged it out of the air? I would have loved to see that replay. The players aren't going to let us watch it, though. They want to move on, but that was a very fortunate 2-point conversion in a situation that looked like it should have been in the hands of his opposition.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and you'll definitely take it when you get it. Good job from Pine Forest getting those 8 points and, you know, keeping the game pretty close here and not letting Northside just run away with it. So we saw there a good defensive play, stopping that run from the kickoff. Again, we're going to see the start with the running play, and they've been so good with it. Look at this.
Are you kidding me?
Taking off 2 defenders and just running. Can they be stopped? They're just going, and they finally going to get forced out of bounds. But look at that run. Just look how many yards they're picking up each time on these runs here.
This is just showing why they're averaging 90 points a game. Like I said, one of their wins, I believe, was a forfeit win. So if that's the case and they have 187 in the other 2, they're literally averaging over 90 points a game. And we're starting to see why. I mean, it's only taken him 1 play to get 5 to 10 yards away from the end zone, or 1 play to just make it all the way. Very likely to convert this. Let's see how this one pans out.
Checking their options. shifting some of the players. Going to opt to keep with the quarterback. No one was able to tackle him, and he's going to walk it once again in for the 3rd touchdown of the game.
I mean, how far into this game even are we at this point? This is there's still 2 minutes left, so we're less than 5 minutes into the game, and Onslow has 22 points. Unbelievable start here. Pine Forest has to start feeling the pressure like we talked about. They did convert the extra 2, but it's not going to be enough if you're not able to have as much success as Onslow. If it's not as easy for them to make it all the way down the field, it's just the way math works. They're not going to be able to catch up to Onslow, so they've got to have some similar successes on offense here.
Both in speed here, so we see them going out and throwing another one. A little risky there. Is going to turn up incomplete, but again, as you're saying, you kind of have to be careful with some of these risky plays like this. You can't just turn it over to a team that's going to be able to score almost on every drive that they get. So they have to be a little bit more careful. I'd like to see, maybe a couple more runs to come out and get a little bit more field advantage like we see here. But the juke, unfortunately, right into the defender. I think if he had kept going right, he may have been able to pick up a few more yards. Actually loses one on the play. So, again, we're seeing some really good defensive pressure coming out of Northside Onslow right now, keeping Pine Forest at bay.
The handoff, and it's going to be intercepted again. Like you said, you cannot play risky against Northside Onslow. They will punish you every single time, and I think it's just part of the pressure. You called it defensive pressure, but it's also offensive pressure. If you hadn't scored this many goals already, Pine Forest wouldn't feel obligated to go for these riskier plays. So it's like the way Onslow is playing, he's making it so his opponent is making more mistakes than they would otherwise, just by virtue of scoring so easily as they're about to get to 28. And that took no time at all. That was insane.
There's the celebration once again. And they're giving us no time to breathe. They get right on defense, get the ball, get a touchdown, switch it right back over. Can't really talk about the plays. They're playing really good run game that has gotten them so many yards, and they're playing safe here, but they're going to convert the 2-point conversion with a little showboating, getting into the end zone. You love to see it there. Of course, if you're playing this well, might as well show off a little bit, but we're at 30-8 in the first quarter so far. Right now, Pine Forest is going to have to take a little bit of a breath, take a little bit of time off of that game clock and play clock, take a little breather and figure out how you can start, converting the offense. If you can start converting that, then maybe you can make them make some offensive, issues as well. But here we see them deciding to run it again, just landing right on that 10-yard line on that kickoff. Really great job from Northside right now, and we'll have to see how Pine Forest decides to step it up, because we did see they can be successful on offensive drives, but I'd like to see them run it here instead of taking that risky throw.
I think you're right when you say they need to take a breather. Unfortunately, runs into his own player, but somehow redirects and finds some progress anyways. But, yeah, I agree that he needs to take a breather and kind of reassess the situation, maybe rethink his offense. But at the same time, Onsow's not going to allow that. He's just going to be continually applying relentless pressure. And when you're down by this much, you don't want the game clock to go down. So you're kind of feeling rushed in every category. And I don't know. He's got to keep his cool here. He does have to take some calculated risks, but don't go too crazy with it, because, I mean, he's now caused – that was almost a third interception. That was so close to it. And those are the kind of plays that you just cannot make when you're down by this much. You have to be, yes, you have to take some risks, but not that risky.
Here they are feeling the pressure, as you said, going for the 4th and 7. There's the throw, and it is not going to convert.
This has been all Northside Onslow, and we're starting to see why he is our #1 player atop the leaderboard after 3 weeks of games. Just showing that he's got what it takes. I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think, is this the guy that needs to go up against TBK from the Western region? Because that feels like an inevitable matchup at some point, as Onslow is going to get the easy first down, juke out of bounds just to maybe spare his player from getting tackled there. But it just feels like he's going to find this end zone in only a matter of time here.
Setting up for the second play of this drive. Looks like they are going to pass it off to this really successful run play. And again, it's in the end zone already.
There's just nobody there. It seems like every time he's making the run, he's just not running into any defenders, just reading the defense perfectly on all of these plays so that he sees where the opening is and without hesitation walks through the open door once again. And this is getting out of hand fast. Going for the free point this time.
Oh.
But we see a defensive flag, I believe.
Yep, so it is going to be encroachment. They did get past that line before the snap came off for this here, but
I don't know what the play is here or what the call is.
Yeah, so it is going to be a penalty, so it is going to, they're just going to redo the extra point, though. On that, again, there's no real advantage or disadvantage. I guess maybe if he had done the kickoff and missed it while the encroachment was coming, you may have gotten to be able to redo the kick, but as it didn't start at that time, they were able to just redo the kick. It's going to be an easy kick for Northside Onso, 37-8, almost already up 30 points. We see the beginning run. Unfortunately, running into the pack there is going to get stopped, so Pine Forest has a tough hill to climb going into their next offensive drive.
Yeah, unfortunately, would have started at a better field position had they just taken the fair catch, but they've shown signs of life on offense, but it's just been turned over 3 times now. So is that why Northside Onslow has only allowed so many points, is because they're able to turn the ball over so effectively? I mean, to have a 171-point differential, you have to assume that they are very good on defense, and once they get into offense are almost always scoring it. So what does Pine Forest have? I love this. Finally changing the game plan, seeing a wide open lane and taking it without hesitation. Those are the type of plays that Pine Forest has to catch and take advantage of. But how quickly does Onslow catch on if they continue to make plays like that?
Setting up for the quick play, looking for a receiver. Is going to find a wide open one, able to get that play to get some extra yardage. There it is, finally finding that open receiver, not throwing it into multiple defenders like we saw in the last couple of throws. It's going to set them up for success here. Finally moving down the field, but a quick blitz is going to allow the incomplete pass to come out, and great read from Northside there to force them on to 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. Has a few options to throw to. This looks like a good one. Yes, and that should find the end zone. Okay, finally Pine Forest picking up some level of momentum. Now, closing the gap at least slightly here. Still trailing by 23 points, so lots of work left to do, but it's got to start with 1. So very good for them to get this, and looks like they're going to go ahead and go for the 2-point conversion. A little bit risky, but when you're down by this much, you kind of feel like every single point matters. Problem is, if this one is not successful, it could be scary as he finds the run, and I love that, just narrowly finding his way into the corner of the end zone. Very good run there.
Saw their options, then seen the open receivers, opted to run, and was able to get it. As you said, exactly what they're looking for. You have to go at 1 point in the time, Now they have to find some stops, though. We've seen Northside be relentless on offense, so they have to get a stop, and I think this is a key pivotal moment going into the second quarter. If they can get a stop here and possibly get another touchdown after, they should be able to get this game kind of back within control going forward. We do see them taking their time to pick the kickoff here, so it should just be a normal kickoff, or at least I would hope so. We saw some onside kicks in the last couple of games that we casted, and none of them were all too successful and usually ended up giving one team more of an advantage here. But so we see them kind of just making their way towards this kickoff. It looks like they might have a penalty for delay of game, but we are waiting to see it here. All right, so finally kickoff going forward.
Yeah, no onside kick so far. I like that. I mean, it's kind of risky. It seems pretty difficult to find value in it. Most players are able to, just pick it up and have a better field position for the start of their offense. But here we see one good juke, but runs into some more defenders after that. We're going to start at the, looks like 23-yard line. Can also quickly find the end zone again, as they've so often done. Looks like it's going to start with their run, and how do they find these open pockets every single time? This is going to be a monstrous run. He looks like he wants to go all the way to the end zone, finally gets taken down. Looked like he started to fake as if he was going to walk out of bounds, thought he could maybe get past the next defender, but just like that, as is often the case with Northside Onso, they are already right next to the end zone.
And again, being so safe with these runs as well, and less of a chance to turn it over with that interception, a little less of a chance of a fumble with it as well. Again, and then we find this run. It's usually their go-to second is going to juke 1-2, pick up 7 on the play, and it's these massive gains each time that they find, you know, pretty safely as well. So good job by them. But again, Pine Forest still has a chance to maybe stop and maybe just force a field goal. They can still do that, and it would stop a little bit of the bleeding there. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. We see some coaching adjustments being made there, probably rightfully so, to try to get the defense on track to get some of these stops. We'll have to see if it works here. The run to the side should be converted, and there it is, diving into the end zone, gets the ball across the line as they get hit. But another touchdown for Northside Onso.
Unbelievable performance so far from Northside Onso on offense. Other players watching this might think that they could learn a thing or two from seeing this. We see the handoff and the run to the other side every time. It just they go right, then they go left, and they go right, then they go left. I mean, you got to think that there's got to be some kind of step up on the defensive side of Pine Forest if they have any chance to win this, because at this point, it doesn't matter how effective you are on offense if you're not going to be effective on defense. So Pine Forest really going to have to step it up in that category.
They will. Again, they opt to run it, get some decent yardage, but of course not as much if they allowed the touchback there. So again, maybe, as you said, they're feeling a little pressure, thinking they have to run it from the kickoff. We do see a long throw coming out. Will they be able to pick it up?
No. Just like that.
Oh.
He's already showboating halfway down the field. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, that's got to feel bad if you're Pine Forest. We just got done saying you have to be effective on both offense and defense to come back. And in the first throw, it gets turned over, and now Northside Onso with the chance to even further build this lead. It's going to be the run play again. This time, a couple defenders in position. But it doesn't matter if you hit a perfect spin juke between 3 targets. Look at this. Okay, he finally gets taken down, but that was an incredible. When the defense finally is in the right spot to stop him, they still can't stop him. That's insane.
Perfect timing out of this player. And again, that just shows why they're so. Oh, no.
No, not like this. That player missed the target, and he just comfortably throws it all the way to the end. And I don't think any of us expected that. I mean, he's been going for these runs every time lateral comes in, and the Miami fans not feeling it right now. And he said, why not? You know, I'm this far ahead. Why not go for the 2-point conversion? Really trying to stack that leaderboard in his favor.
We'll have to see if they are successful, though. They're going to look to possibly get the run, small throw into an interception.
Okay.
So
the interception during the 2-point conversion, I don't think it's going to matter. It's still going to be a kickoff for Onso. But, hey, at least they just stopped the 2 extra, which is always a good thing. Means that it's a little bit easier to come back. But, I mean, this deficit's starting to add up.
Here we see the run once again, making it past, getting to about that 20-yard. You know, I kind of want to see them just let the ball bounce past them into the end zone, allow that touchback, get on the 25-yard line, and then move it up from there. But they seem content on running it, so maybe they have a game plan in mind here. But they have to be effective on this play. It looks like they're going to try to run it for a little bit, running back a little bit. Has to be careful. There's the throw, and they make it.
That was crazy. How do you find the catch there? You can see the game plan changing multiple times in the middle of one singular play. Okay, looks like the run is the op here, but there's too many defenders there in the center to stop that one from getting through. 2nd and 9, though. They did pick up 1 yard.
Seeing both options for run and passing on this play here. We'll have to see what they decide to opt with. Looks like the handoff to the lateral toss. The throw, it will be complete. Good job. Can they find the juke? They cannot, but again, that's all they need to pick up the first down and getting closer to that end zone, which is what they need after stopping that 2-point conversion from Northside.
At this point, the pressure has to be at least somewhat off Pine Forest. Now it's like, okay, I can just play my game. I'm unlikely to win this, but I can do my best, and that's kind of the mentality you need to actually come back, is like not feel the pressure of how big the deficit is and just be like, okay, I'm just going to see what I can do here, mitigate the damage. And so far, this is a great offensive drive. Trying to just force his way through the defensive line and will pick up, looks like 4 yards. So only a matter of time, I think, for Pine Forest to get this to the end zone, and it has to make it.
First and goal. They have the end zone in their sights. Again, picking up this touchdown will be big momentum for them. Kind of just, you know, get them a little bit closer to that if they at least want to try to tie it up, or if not, trying to minimize that goal deficit or that point deficit as much as possible going into this game. They're going to opt to running into a couple of their team members again, and just have to be a little careful with that. You know, make sure you know what routes your AI are going to run so you don't run into them. Third and goal, though, so still able to convert if they can find a pass here. Great pass into the end zone, and there it is, the touchdown.
That was a very nice pass. Probably the most open receiver in the play. You love to see that. Now bringing the point difference to 29. So still a lot of ground to cover, but there's still a lot of time left in this game as well. Second quarter, 3 minutes left. We get the free point. Now ball back in the hands of Northside Onslow. But at this point, if Onslow is, and then we see the onside kick. I actually like it in this position because you do have to start playing riskier. But it will, that was actually a close one. Probably one of the better onside kicks that we have seen. There was a good chance that maybe Northside Onslow could get the ball back, but it will be received by Northside Onslow. And now you just gave the man better field position when he's already effective on offense. And just like that, ball gets handed off into the run play. He's going to be taken down at the 15-yard line, but wow, that was, I mean, kind of what we're used to seeing from Northside. Usually their first play, they're getting 20 to 30 yards at least down the field. And another perfect run. He's going to find the corner of the end zone and walk it in. I mean, this guy gets on offense, 10 seconds later, he's scoring a touchdown. It's insane.
I am just speechless. It's just so effective with the running. It's like he knows exactly what the defense is almost doing as well at this point. You know, maybe it's just playing so much. Oh, he's actually going to return the onside kick favor here and say, you did it, so I'm going to do it again. There it is. They are going to be able to pick it up. A lateral pass there. So no real gain or loss on that with the lateral. Maybe they thought if they could get that lateral pass off that they could get a couple more yards, but still ending up in pretty good field position for Pine Forest. So both of them with those unsuccessful onside kicks. We'll have to see if Pine Forest can convert off of this, though. Huge throw going down. They are.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was
just dropped it at the end.
Unfortunate. Looked like a pretty good pass, but receiver cannot hold on to it. So they will still be 2nd and 10. Still a lot of time left on this drive, but like we said, you kind of feel like they need to be aggressive here, bring themselves back into this game. They will start further down the field because of that onside kick. So let's see. Probably another pass. Yes, the short pass this time, but that's a solid gain of yards. Now 3rd and 4.
Do you respect it instead of going for a risky long throw? Just get the one going down the center, pick up a couple yards, as you said. 3rd and 4 should be able to convert on the first down. Will they be able to find it? They do on another short throw in the middle. And again, moving up the field, this is what they need to try to, you know, get some points back here. Again, opting for one of these quick plays instead of looking through their playbook to find another one. Will they be able to find a receiver? They are not as they get tackled, but luckily able to get the incomplete pass so they don't lose any yardage.
Could have been a lot worse. 2nd and 10 now. Looks like they've got Couple receivers going deep on both sides. First one goes to the left, and that is a touchdown. It's good. Barely catching it over the defender's head there, and getting a little bit closer to making this manageable. Now only down by, I think, 29. Sorry, math is hard right now.
It is okay. Luckily, all we have to do is see what score is higher than the other, but they are going to go for the two-point conversion and convert on it. There it is. Good job from Pine Forest. Again, feeling the pressure, knowing they have to kind of go for these two-point conversions if they want to get back into the game, but luckily able to convert there. We do see a more normal kickoff once again since they got that goal, maybe feeling that they don't have to get that onside kick, but Northside opting to run it, going to get tackled. It's a good position for Miami getting that stop early.
Okay. Northside has been writing the book on how to play this game offensively. What's the play here? Also, if you're on defense, you've got to start thinking, all right, this guy is so good at just running the ball down the corner. How can I adjust my defense so that doesn't happen anymore? What does Onso do? Sees the opening to the right. This time takes it to the right. Jukes one defender, almost a second, enough to get the first down. And it feels like the defense needs to have their players maybe a little bit closer to the down line. But here we go. It's going to be another run, and he's just so good at finding these pockets.
I'm wondering, because I saw that as well, and as much as I agree with you, I'm wondering if they're setting up some some defense in the back. I'm thinking that they are going to get that first juke and trying to have someone in the back to maybe follow up in case one of them get juked. But here we are probably going to see a longer throw from the side north side Onzo, but actually they opt to just run it, as I don't think they saw a receiver downfield that was open and going to pick up 6 yards on that play. So good vision by them to do that. They're going to opt for another quick play here, 2nd and 4, running it once again, finding a nice little lane to get that first down.
So impressive. Just seemingly choosing the right choice every time. Now another first down. Progress has been made. Long way to go to the end zone. Looks like could be another run. No, sees a wide open player in front of him and almost chokes past the first guy, but loses the footing. Will be taken down, but another clean first down.
You would think with such a good, positioning from Miami, getting that stop fairly early up the field, which is how quickly Northside has taken this ball up the field as well. It almost like they, just started in much better field position at this point. Again, can they make a wrong choice on offense? Here we see them running once again, shoving off one of the defenders, juking another, and getting into the end zone. And it's every time he just finds a way to slip through and just get straight in there, taking no time at all. We're only in the second quarter right now and already at 64 points for Northside.
How do you possibly beat this man? I mean, he is trending to score over 100 points this game. And we have not entered the second half. He's getting 2 extra just for fun at this point. I mean, if he continues this pace, he could very well eclipse 120 points. But, I mean, at Pine Forest, they have to do something about this.
Oh, no.
Does it? I think they still got it.
Okay.
The last player able to get it is the one that still gets it. That could have been bad.
It tipped off the fingers of the first player there to pick it up, and luckily he had another one to pounce on it. But that would have been devastating for Pine Forest if they had given that up right there. 35
points is the lead for Northside Onslow. Pine Forest, at this point, just trying to mitigate the damage, I think. You don't want to allow too many points. You want to score a lot as well. Every week is good practice. And if you're playing against the best player in your conference, barely cannot catch up to it. But if you're playing against the best player, I think that it's important to have the right mentality about this. And, okay, even if I lose, I do want to learn something from this. So hope that is kind of the attitude that Pine Forest has in this moment. Is okay, let's see what he's doing so effectively. Can I come up with a counter strategy on the fly. Also would like them to study this film afterwards and really break down what made Onslow so powerful on offense. Let's see if there's maybe any other options they could have chosen on defense to make things different. But so far, they're on offense right now, going for another long. This is the same exact play and the same exact result. And now they're 4th and 8, and these long plays are not working out so far for Pine Forest.
Maybe feeling too much pressure. Again, it's only the second quarter. As you said, maybe take this as a learning experience more than trying to win at this point. Figure out what plays are working. Because if they can work against, the best player in the region, then maybe they'll work against everyone else and you can find yourself moving up the ladder. But they're able to convert on the 4th down, so it is going to be 1st and 10. They will retain position for the time being. They're going to opt back, drop back for another throw.
Oh.
It'll be wide open. Can they find the end zone? Great juke on one, but gets dropped at the 1-yard line.
Still such a strong play there. I mean, multiple things going right in the last couple plays. They secure back-to-back first downs. They're now just a yard away from the touchdown. You have to think it's got to find its way in. Still 24 seconds on the clock, so not super pressed for time.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Okay, that could have been bad. I thought that might have been a fumble situation, but just going to be counted as an incomplete pass.
They need to find this touchdown. They're in such good field position right now. You want to get some points on the board. Have to be careful.
Oh, no.
Okay, so release the ball again there. So we'll be still on that 1-yard line. 3rd and goal. Just take a little bit of time. Figure out a way to get this to possibly one of those running backs so they can run it in there. There it is, the toss, and it should be good. Going to do a little showboating themselves, getting into the end zone. There they are, finally able to pick up that touchdown there. Most likely will go for the 2-point conversion as, again, they're trying to close that point deficit as much as possible. Can they convert?
They have been consistently going back and forth with Onslow. The 2 points will not be converted, though. But it's like they've kind of matched each other in each offensive drive recently. The problem is the deficit is so great that that's not enough. You need to stop Onslow from scoring and then also score yourself. We see another onside kick, and it's going to be jump caught here, and they will start their drive on the 40-yard line. So got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Respectable. There's only about 13 seconds left in the half, so that onside kick, not going to do too much against them. Maybe they can actually get a stop here before time expires. And trying to run down that clock a little bit. We're able to shave off. We are going to see the last timeout used by Northside to stop the game clock, though. 7 seconds has shown to be plenty of time for them to score. So right now it's really down to Pine Forest to get this stop so that there's no... Oh, actually, they're going to opt for a... Nope. Okay. So we saw the field goal coming out. They opted to get the timeout from Miami to possibly thinking maybe it might be a trick play against this. They're going to see if they can get the stop, but actually great field goal there. So looks like no problem from the north side to pick up those points. Maybe just get a couple extra points for themselves before at the end. 4 seconds left. We'll have to see if maybe Pine Forest can make a 90-yard run here. Actually,
yeah, opting to just take it at the 25 instead of go for a crazy run. I feel like the likelihood of this working out is probably greater than, just going for the long run. So let's see what the play is. These receivers are going long. Here we go. It's like X. Oh, no, he's going to try to run it, but he's got to get through a lot of players if that's ever going to work out. It's not going to this time. We will enter halftime. Nice score from Northside Onslow in the first half. Pine Forest trailing by 32 right now. They got to find some ground in the second.
Northside opting with the onside kick to start it all off. Here it is. Actually going to once again drop past the defender, and it's going to be recovered by Northside. So they're going to start the half with the ball again.
Oh, my goodness. That is not how you wanted this half to start if you're Pine Forest. But you also can't really be surprised as they've been so effective in all their plays. Let's see, how can they just find the end zone again? It's going to be the run play. This time there's more defenders ready. I like the adjustment from Pine Forest to stop the kind of bread and butter offensive play from Onslow.
4 yards on the play. but still nothing they're going to be too upset about as they are moving up the field. And again, recovering that onside kick puts them with the ball once again going into this fake lateral there. Is going to get the throw off right the last second. He's going to pick it up, get the first juke, and get to the 20-yard line.
That was unreal. Throws it at the last opportunity to do so and catches it just barely. Another perfect first down. What's the play here, though?
Looks like some of those defenders shifting up.
Yeah, looks like there's somewhat of an opening on the right side here. Let's see. He sees it as well. He's going to take the row to the right side, and it's another. I sound like a broken record here, Chris. Another first down. Another first down. And it's only a matter of time before I say another touchdown because this guy just knows how to find the end zone.
What can you do at this point, though? Every time they get the ball, they're making moves up the field, and it's just, you know, when are they going to get that first down? When are they going to get the touchdown? And there it is. As you said, it's the inevitable. The touchdown comes in. You can't help but say it. And at this point, we really are wondering what Pine Forest can do on defense to get these stops. You know, they've tried making adjustments. We see them making the adjustments here on screen. But the Ohio State player just seems to know what to do each time. And it's showing why they are our #1 player in the region so far. Opting for the 2-point conversion, looking for that run, and is going to make it in.
There's only 3 things inevitable in life, Chris. Death, taxes, and Northside Onslow finding the end zone, because it's just been every single time. I mean, there's just almost, I don't think there has been a single offensive drive that has been stopped yet from Pine Forest. They're going to go for the onside kick, but it is fumbled. It is picked back up by Pine Forest. That could have got scary real quick, but it's, I mean, they're down by 40, Chris. Do you think this is doable? I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but I like what you said again, and I think a lot of players should listen to the wise words from Eli on that. You know, maybe if it's unwinnable, see what you can do that works, especially when you're playing the best player in the conference. If you can find something that works against them, then you can most likely it will work against everyone else. So then at that point, just find ways to adjust the defense. The offense is working for Pine Forest. Unfortunately, not here, as they are going to get sacked. Yes, Castle Curse, I apologize. That one is on me, folks. But again, they were able to score 37 so far, so they do have something that is working. So I could definitely see them doing well against other players. But again, you have to find ways to make adjustments throughout the game. Can they make the throw here? Looks like they can. Going to pick up some good yardage there. So 3rd and 1. So this drive is definitely doable. We'll see if they can get that first down and get within scoring range here. Going to opt for a nice little run. I like it. Able to juke past a couple of different ones, and they should be within scoring range. 1st and 10. So if they can convert this first down, they should be well within their right to score a touchdown here.
Yeah, I like the plays that Pine Forest going for. That was a risky one, though. I thought I was about to cast a curse him because that looked like a possible interception. This time, though, not going to go down. We see, okay, good pass here. It's going to pick up some yardage. 3rd and 3. Want to find this end zone. But you make a good point. I mean, these guys, before this match, Onslow had only allowed 16 points across his first 3 matches. Like I said, one of those might have been a forfeit. But for Pine Forest to now have scored over 40 points against Onslow, who clearly seems to have the best defense that we've seen. I mean, they not only have the most points, but they've also allowed the least points of the players that have played real matches. So Pine Forest got to feel good. I mean, even though this is probably doesn't feel good right now, in retrospect, to think about this game later, assuming they lose, of course, they were able to get a ton of points against an extremely powerful defense.
Right. This is a little scary. He's running back. Of course, it's not going to matter since it was the 2-point conversion for those extra points. They will be able to get the kickoff, so luckily not losing any yards there, turning it over to the opposition. But again, we're seeing this onside kick. They are feeling the pressure, so trying to get this back. It is going to go right into the hands of that player. Now we see a big lateral pass. They're probably just having some fun with it, losing a couple yards there. If they had just decided to opt to run it, probably not going to matter to the north side player, giving themselves a little bit of a handicap here. But that's, again, as effective as they are, you know.
Right, it doesn't matter where they start on the field. This is going to end up in the end zone if history does repeat itself. But we do finally see a bit of a sack here. It doesn't lose any yardage, but they will take down QB and force the next play here. But this is kind of what you talked about is, okay, let's try some different things on defense and see if we can find a way to stop this man, because so far no one that has played Northside Onso has found a way to stop him finding the end zone. Averaging over 90 points a game so far is unbelievable. Will throw the ball, and that that receiver not quite able to get the jump catch there. So now this is honestly looks like the most adversity that Onso has faced on offense. To be 3rd and 10 is not familiar territory so far this game.
Have to see if Pine Forest can get that stop here. Looks like they're going for that patented running play. They will get the stop. 4th and 2nd. I do see Northside going for it, though. Of course, they're so far ahead right now that losing the ball in this position wouldn't be too big of a deal for them. So we'll see what they, so they do decide to go for it. And again, will they be able to convert, or can Pine Forest finally get the stop? There's the short throw and into it. He's going to truck stick against one, juke against another, and pick up that first down.
The reaction time from Onso to make this throw was actually very impressive as well. There was so many defenders ready to sack that QB, and he recognized how much pressure was approaching him and just immediately throws it and picks the right target as well. So under pressure, Onso choosing the right player to throw to, and probably a big part of the reason they've been so successful.
2nd and 8. So again, a good little stop from Pine Forest here. We'll have to see if they can maybe get them back into that 4th territory, but massive throw to a wide open receiver. Gonna dive, but not gonna be able to find it there. Also defying some laws of physics by glitching into the stands a little bit, but of course this is a video game, so luckily no one was injured off of that. 3rd and 8.
Oh,
Blitz. Gonna shake off one, but finally taken down, and this is probably the best defensive effort we've seen so far.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Pine Forest, I think they are learning from this experience, and this is getting interesting for Onso. I feel like now all of a sudden they're being tested a bit. Now deciding to go for the field goal. 4th and 14 is pretty tough, and that one's going to go wide. So the first time that Onso has been on offense without the ball turning over. Now Pine Forest rewriting the game's history a bit. If they can score here, they're suddenly only down by 27. That seems like a lot, but still plenty of time left in this game.
Setting up for this offensive drive. Can they get some yardage? Opting to run it with the quarterback. Good job picking up that first down. I like this. I've seen the adjustment out of Pine Forest. Instead of making those throws that would be really risky, as we saw them in quarter 1 and quarter 2, have now opted to more start running it with the quarterback. So luckily they're not turning it over as much, and we've seen it, be a lot very successful. Great throw, and there it is. This is a great adjustment we've seen into the 3rd quarter out of Pine Forest.
He's doing exactly what we said, Chris. He's learning from what is working against him and getting better every single play, it seems like. So Pine Forest suddenly in a position where they're starting to believe, if I can continue this pressure on offense as he finds the run, jukes through multiple opponents, finally taken down at the 3-yard line. But he's looking like a new man here. I think that maybe not feeling the pressure as much. He's not expected to win this game. Sometimes losing that pressure can make you play even better. I think that might be part of what we're seeing here.
2nd and goal. Definitely want to pick up this touchdown here if they can. Looking to pass it off, but great read from the side of Northside to just get all those linebackers there, set up that O-line as well, doing a good job getting that stop. So might opt to look for a possible passing play, but again, nope, just going to hand it off. Should be able to get into the end zone. Great job from Pine Forest. Good defensive effort into a touchdown here. Is going to close that point gap a little bit more. I like this. A safe extra point to get the game within 27 points. Definitely much more doable within that 30-40 deficit that we saw a little bit earlier. And again, as you were saying, looking at the point differential, this is eclipsing the amount of points that Northside has been scored against so far. So great job out of Pine Forest.
Pine Forest literally has more than twice the amount, almost 3 times the score of all of Northside Onso's previous opponents. So very impressive, able to score this much. Now, problem is you're still 4 touchdowns, including extra points, away from taking the lead. So you've got to stop the plays, but it starts with a play like this. All of a sudden, this looks doable, Chris.
It does. We see one of the first major errors out of Northside, maybe a little too relaxed with this point difference. Throwing that first interception, of course, no one is perfect, but great job out of Pine Forest staying in it. They are going to throw a massive throw down and get a very quick turnaround.
Instant double touchdown in the span of, 30 seconds? I mean,
back to back.
That's got to feel good if you're Pine Forest, because now they get this extra point. It's only a 20-point game, Chris. And if they get 3 more touchdowns and stop Onslow from scoring, which now 2 drives in a row from Onslow have been stopped, whether that's forcing it or forcing the field goal or forcing the interception. This is absolutely doable. There's still a minute left in this quarter and an entire last quarter to go.
Onside kick. Can it be recovered? Almost getting to it.
What?
And they will. They'll pick up the onside kick. This is...
Are you kidding me? They are making the most miraculous comeback we have witnessed so far in college football. This player was trailing by nearly 50 points earlier. Can they make another run into the touchdown? 3 in a row for Pine Forest. Are you kidding me? This is an unbelievable turnaround, the likes of which we have not yet seen in our league. He is now not far away, now feeling himself a bit here. Says, you know what, I'm going to go for 2. I can do no wrong right now. Will it pay off?
Oh, no.
A fumble.
Okay.
But it's not, I mean, fumbles in the 2-point conversion don't matter realistically unless they're able to pick it back up. But, wow, what an impressive sequence of events for Pine Forest. This is suddenly a game.
And this is the mental resiliency we like to see. Down by almost 30-40, they're able to take their time, get back into the game, make adjustments from quarter to quarter. We see them back within striking distance now, making better plays. I do like, instead of going for the onside kick again, to just opt for the traditional kickoff there. So they are going to allow the touchback, so they are going to start at the 25. And now we'll have to see if Northside is able to make any of these adjustments. They've been forced on a couple errors, which allow 3 back-to-back touchdowns from Pine Forest. We'll have to see if they can pick it back up once again, but as I say that, they take a loss for 3.
Take a loss for 3. How does Onslow respond to this? Because this is by far the most pressure that anyone has put on them so far with the 3 touchdowns in a row. Will they be able to maintain their level of dominance on offense? This is going to be a great catch, just narrowly not being intercepted. Gets taken down immediately after the catch, but that's kind of what you need if you're Onslow to re-establish your dominance in this game. So far, need to get this one downfield, and they are having no problems doing so. They want to go ahead and extend this lead once again.
I'm not sure if you saw, but we saw some of the stats from the quarterback, and I believe they had only thrown 10 throws. Basically through it. They were 7 out of 10, compared to almost, I believe, like the 30 from the side of Pine Forest. So it's crazy to see how effective these runs are from Northside here, opting to run. And here again, we see it right here. These runs are going right up the field, and can't throw an interception when you're running it. So
that's right. We've seen how effective it can be throughout the season so far. Running, just passing it off, going for the run, the safe play. More often than not, it seems to be successful, as we see it again, the handoff. And it will be stopped short, but still 2nd and goal. And it just seems like eventually he's going to have to choose the right option. Only has a few more downs to do it, but that's never stopped him before.
And in this field position can always opt to get that field goal as well if they're feeling a little bit of the pressure from Pine Forest, but they're going to set up again. 2nd and goal. Again, this run will be stopped. So Pine Forest definitely feeling it right now, saying, well, you got this far, but I'm still going to make it harder on you to get this touchdown, seeing if maybe they can force them into that field goal if they can get a stop here.
This has been such an impressive performance from Pine Forest. Oh, that could have been bad. Still 4th and goal. What does Onslow do here? Do they still go for the touchdown? But it's been of such an impressive difference that we've seen out of Pine Forest. Okay, they will go for the field goal. This is a big one. So now make it a 3 touchdown game in favor of Onslow instead of just 2. So Pine Forest, they're showing a lot of resilience here. Able to stop 3 in a row, get 3 touchdowns in a row. This time not allowing the touchdown, forcing a field goal. So slowly chipping away at the lead. Now what do they do here on offense though?
Good run, getting to about the 25, 26-yard line there, so about where they would be if they decide to take that touchback. It's a great job by Pine Forest, but they do have to score on this drive. We are into the 4th quarter, and can they shake them off? Oh no, the ball's out. They are able to recover, but a loss of 19, so it will be 2nd and 29.
That's a massive loss, and not one when you're already trailing by 17 points here. Not one that you want to have. Risky business here, but it will be thrown, and they will get a lot of those yards back. And even though they gain 24 yards, it's not enough to get the first down. 3rd and 5 going into this play.
Much more manageable with the 3rd and 5, though. Dropping back for another pass. We're going to see a short one, but incomplete as the defender was there to stop it. 4th and 5. I believe at this point they will probably want to go for it, though. We do see them setting up, as of course they have to get some of these touchdowns to try to get back into this game. And with the momentum they've had, I definitely expect them to go for this. And now going to look for the fake handoff, trying to see if they can find someone, but opts to run it. Going to get that 4th down, trying to get out of bounds, but unable to do so. But still with 5 minutes left, they still have plenty of time with the rate that they've been getting their most recent touchdowns to possibly tie it back up.
Okay, Pine Forest. Oh no, that's exactly what you can't do in this position. You had to find the end zone, but instead you pass it off to Onslow and give them another chance to extend their lead. But I mean, you have to do that though for Pine Forest when you're down by this much. Last quarter, accelerated clock is in play now, so the time is going to be dwindling down. Had to go for the long pass, but Onslow finding the interception will capitalize on the situation they find themselves in.
Big tackle, but will still pick up the 1st down there from Northside Onslow after that interception, and really good field position here. So they will want to look to capitalize. Of course, as you said, being the player they are, they'll probably want to get that point differential up as much as possible. 1 juke, 2 jukes. Can they find a 3rd? They can. They will get into the end zone with one of those really quick touchdowns, and it looks like they are back to their regular form.
That's got to be a sigh of relief as the relentless comeback pursuit was in effect from Pine Forest. But now with this lead, with this much time left in the game, it feels like Onslow should be able to secure the victory, I think. But, I mean, crazier things have happened, and we've seen kind of how much Pine Forest has been stepping it up in the latter stages of this game.
Onside kick will be returned by Miami. They'll go ahead and opt for that lateral pass. Sometimes I just want to say just run it.
Right.
You're losing a couple yards that are kind of pivotal at this point in the game if you want to get it tied up here. We will see them drop back. They will look for the throw down the field, covered by 2, and it will be intercepted once again.
They had, I mean, like we said, they have to go for these long plays, but is he just going to intercept and run it all the way? I think this is how many yards? He even stutter stepped in 93-yard pick 6. Northside Onslow back to the level of pressure that they are used to putting on.
And we see some changes coming out here. Looks like Pine Forest not too happy with that roster, so going to make a little bit of changes to see if they can maybe get back into their scoring ways. They look so good at the end of the third quarter going into the fourth, but Northside Onso has picked back up their pace, saw them creeping back up and said, well, we can't have this, can we? There, 2 interceptions lead to 2 touchdowns, and what looked like maybe Woody wouldn't reach that 100-point mark is definitely back within 1 touchdown again from Ohio State here in Northside. So great job by them picking it back up, saying, well, you score a couple times, we're going to get back into it. Maybe a little bit of pressure onto Pine Forest has kind of forced some of these errors there, and I kind of wish they had played a little bit safer, a little bit slower to get back into the game, but can't fault them for trying. But here, the extra point will be good, and it'll be 94-63.
94-63, 31 points now, the difference. Feels like the walls are closing in on Pine Forest. They were starting to look really good. They gave themselves a chance to come back. By the way, ball goes out from the onside kick. But yeah, it almost feels like an inevitability at this point. Pine Forest, though, still with an opportunity to keep trying things out. You know, keep trying different things on offense, try different things on defense, see what can work. Like Chris said, if it works against this guy, it probably works against the rest of the league as well. So what can they do on offense here?
Setting back again, looking for this throw, is going to get hit right before getting that throw off. So again, have to be a little careful with these. The risk of injury is getting pretty high on some of those players that are here in the fourth quarter. But again, they want to make some of these big plays down the field. They are finally going to get that catch and be taken down at the 20-yard line. Possibly, again, just at this point, it may be looking more towards kind of closing that gap in points for and against, as again, it will count against themselves as well. You don't want to be too far in the negative. Their great run is going to pick up the first down, and first and goal is a good position for Pine Forest.
Pine Forest trying to make this one a bit more respectable here. This would be a nice touchdown as well. You know, you don't want to allow too many points, and the more you score, the better you fare on the leaderboard. Like we said, the leaderboard will consider points allowed in a point differential in the tiebreakers. So every touchdown matters. Pine Forest would like to find this end zone.
Setting up possible run, but might just be a fake handoff to a passing play. Looks like they're going to actually find that receiver, and great job picking up this touchdown once again.
70 points against Onslow is crazy. If they can get this extra point here, which they have had no issues getting in the past, they will get it again. But before this game, in 3 games against Onslow, opponents had only scored 16 points. Pine Forest has scored 70. That is insane. More than 4 times as much as the 3 previous opponents combined. So Pine Forest showing that they have what it takes to come back in the season and potentially make it to the state championship. Right now, Onslow certainly trending in that direction as they look to go 4-0 if they can secure this, up by 24 points. See, do they start playing the clock here, or do they want to pad the stats? Do they want to go for more touchdowns? So far, it looks like they will go for that end zone however they can find it.
Number 1 player definitely going to look to pad those stats as much as possible, especially after being scored 70. You think about it, you know, this is definitely a game that they're probably not used to allowing this many points from an opponent, so they'll definitely want to widen that gap a little bit. 94, though, if they score this touchdown, they will reach the 100 mark. They're going to opt for another run here, able to find a nice lane, pick up 6 yards on that play. And what do they look for here? We see a lot of coverage from the side of Pine Forest, so maybe they're expecting that third there. But again, only need 4 yards, so they are going to opt. Actually, it does look like they're going to throw right into the end zone and pick up another touchdown.
Another touchdown just like that. And, yeah, 100 points is the score for Onso. Looking for 101 here. But, I mean, not many teams so far across the entire season have been able to cross that 100-point threshold. I think TBK maybe done it a couple times. But, I mean, anytime you get 100 points, that's something to celebrate.
It is, and great job from Northside to pick it up. We will see the touchback allowed so that they can start in better field position. 70 points, though, is a great feat in its own, so definitely nothing to be sad about from this game. 70 points is pretty crazy against our conference leader as well right now. We are going to see a drop back for the pass. Can they get off in enough time? They cannot, and it will be 2nd and 22.
Yeah, this is looking tough right now. Need to get this first down if they want another chance on goal here, I think. Opponent might be satisfied with 100 points in play time, but it's an interception, and just like that, this has gotten from bad to worse for Pine Forest, and it just feels like it's inevitable that Onso gets the next touchdown and makes this an insurmountable lead here.
Looking to pick up more of those points. Another great defensive effort out of Northside will put them in pretty much the best scoring position that you could have after a turnover like that at about the 6-yard line here. Going to set up further play. Looks like they will drop back to pass, looking for that throw.
Oh.
And nope, looks like he was not able to bring it in before crossing the sidelines there.
Yeah, caught it just with a tippy toe over the out of bounds. Another timeout coming out, just burning through these. Looks like 2nd and goal still. What's the play here? It looks like maybe an opening to the right side. Will he run it to the right? That's typically been the play. No, it's going to be handoff to the... Oh, an interception in the end zone. And Pine Forest not going to allow the extra points for Onslow, which means their point differential won't be as bad as it was. So, I mean, even though these plays seem inconsequential, they will be on that leaderboard.
Have to be careful here. Even though you got the ball back here, fairly back. Have to be careful. Okay,
Ooh.
gets the ball out, almost throwing an interception there. Well, look at that, though.
Risk of injury severe.
QB, that left leg there looking pretty damaged. Going on to be a little safer with that QB going forward, even though there's only 2 minutes left. I know it's just a game, but don't want your... Oh, no, the safety.
Oh, wow. That doesn't feel good for Pine Forest, but could have been worse, right? They intercepted it. It could have been 6 points. Instead, it's just 2 as that one plays out. 2-minute timeout called here.
All right, 103-70. And again, at this point, I think Pine Forest just kind of focuses on stopping the bleeding, maybe trying to get a few touchdowns while making a couple of stops to get that point differential to be as minimal as possible there. We do see them deciding what they are going to do, running down that play clock a little bit. We're going to see a flag for delay of game.
Okay.
Right, waiting to see what they decide to pick here. Of course, if they accept it, it'll be that 1st and 15 on their own 43. If they decline, it'll be the 1st and 10 on the 48. So we'll have to see if they usually will accept it here to get a couple more yardage, but it looks like they are taking their time just a bit. All right, and as we see a little bit of a delay here, we are going to cut back to us real quick.
Yeah, wow. I mean, what an impressive performance from Northside Onso once again. I mean, going into this match, they were averaging 90 points a game, and they're showing you why with 103. I mean, I don't think that game is going to continue. It looks like both of our competitors did decide to just go ahead and end the game there, so final score would be 103-70. But I got to say, Pine Forest put up a good fight. I mean, there was the 3 touchdowns in a row in the middle of the game that they put themselves in a position where it felt like it was possible for them to come back, but the deficit that they had already accrued leading up to that point was just a little bit too great, and were unable to come back from that. But overall, a great game.
It was. And again, we have to credit Pine Forest for taking that many points. And you would think if it's against anyone else, they would be leading that game. So great job by them. But of course, you can't take away from that performance from Northside. They're showing why they are at the top of the leaderboard. Everyone in Sandhills should be taking note, maybe watching these games, seeing what worked for Pine Forest and maybe putting it towards some of their play so that when they do play Northside Onso B, that they're able to implement it and maybe, you know, take some points as well, or possibly even a match off of Northside. But again, such great play. It was almost perfect throughout the first and second quarter out of Northside Onslow. We did see some holes in their play from Pine Forest taking advantage, but great job by them, and they will be happily moving into the next coming weeks, standing at the top right now.
VOD review is such an important part of growing as a player. So if you are anyone else in this league or in these two players, it's important that you rewatch these games, see what was going right, see what was going wrong, learn from it, and take that to the next game. We've also got Drini with his videos. I know that he's going to do some VOD review of our players as well. So definitely stay on the lookout for that. But we got another match for college football going to be coming up. That's going to be North Carolina Virtual Academy versus Riverside. Before that, though, we're going to go to a quick break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The obvious things are it's a space for students to game, but I think this space provides a lot of other learning opportunities and experiential learning opportunities for students. The career transfer pieces, whether you're in media, production, or you're doing event management, we have an opportunity to train students to get out in the community to help us lead a lot of different esports initiatives, both locally, regionally, and nationally. Tournament hosting, sponsorships within the esports community, continuing to build our competitive edge with our student recruitment. I think that UNCG's positioned itself to really be the leaders on that forefront.
Welcome back to college football on week number 4. My name is Chris, and I am joined here with Eli. Had to get a little bit of water after that last game. Had us going for a very long time there, but fun nonetheless. And we are going to jump into our second game here, NC Virtual Academy versus Riverside. And what do you think? Do you think they can top the last game?
It's going to be hard to top the #1 player in our conference right now from Northside Onslow, but I mean these two teams looking pretty good as well. I believe NC Virtual Academy so far after 3 weeks also undefeated, scoring 135 points, allowing 100. So they've won a lot of close games, and then their opponent is going to be 1-2 so far. So this should be a good one. I think that we're going to see it maybe a bit more even as they're not the #1 going against the #1 player, but let's go ahead and jump into the game and see how it plays out. Got a few different teams potentially. I think we've seen this player preferring the blue field, but they are the away team, so it looks like it's going to be Chapel Hill. So a little bit of local love here from the home player.
It is, and as you said, we're kind of moving away from a lot of what we see. We see a lot of Georgia, a lot of Ohio State, a lot of Alabama.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas as well, you're right. Not too many. Boise State is definitely a new one coming out. North Carolina as well, UNC, Chapel Hill. So two teams that are kind of breaking the color code as well, going into some of these blue color codes, and I think we saw them moving around the different variants of those jerseys as well on the side of Boise State. So it's really cool that they have maybe a favorite jersey as well as a team. So the Carolina Blue, of course, patented in the state of North Carolina. Love to see it here, that opening for them. But again, two teams that could be a lot more even that we saw, even though one is at 3-0 and one is 1-2, as we saw last game as well. A team can get very close even if they lost their first couple, so we'll have to see how each team comes out playing here. Will one stay undefeated, or will one be able to break that undefeated streak?
I love the two blue teams on the screen. Blue's my favorite color. I'm biased, so I love a little switch up as well, where you're just so used to seeing the other teams like we mentioned. So this is a nice refresher here. Light blue versus dark blue. Who will be the better blue? We got NC Virtual Academy, the team on the Tar Heels, Riverside on the Boise State Broncos. And it looks like we will start with ball in the hand of Riverside. And it will start on the 25-yard line, which I feel like we didn't see at all in the first game we watched today. But first play is not going to gain any yardage at all. Still 2nd and 10.
Safety first for the side of Boise State. Attempting that run to see if maybe they can get a little bit of yards, but not too risky on a throw play right out of the gate. But we see them setting up for that now. Little nice short throw should pick up a couple yards. Actually, a great juke will help them get the first down. Going past a second before getting knocked out there on the sideline to stop that play. So great job by them, kind of feeling out on the first play of the game, but then coming out swinging on the second.
Coming out swinging on the second, like you said. Huge pickup there, 1st and 10. Now at the 52-yard line. Still has a lot of field to cover. We can see we're watching from the away team here from Riverside. So we're going to see that pulse, stadium pulse in effect. But wow, at the last second, throws the ball all the way downfield. Early juke. Does a little spin move there, maybe a second too early, but regardless, I mean, who cares if you make that much progress down the field? Got to be feeling good about that one.
Setting up now 1st and goal. Good job. If they can continue this momentum, they should surely pick up a touchdown here to start the game. You do see those squiggly lines, though, from that stadium pulse. Of course, it's very early, so that AI crowd is very happy regardless of the progression made. Great vision there from the side of Riverside. Is going to pick up that first down, seeing that wide open receiver on the left hand.
One thing that I know, Chris, is some North Carolina audiences are very loud as they are showing both in real life and in game, getting that stadium pulse essentially maxed out. But I mean, great opening drive from Riverside. Clean touchdown with the extra point, and didn't really feel like they had to work all that hard for it. Can NC Virtual Academy have the same level of success?
They will have to show it off here. We do see the kickoff. Actually, very good placement. It's going to force the run here, but right up the middle, going to get very good yardage off of that. So not really too deterred by that kickoff. It's a great start. Actually just runs straight up the middle, finds it there, going to start on the 25-yard line. So pretty much no different from a touchback at the moment. We'll have to see if they can convert on their first play, and they cannot.
Yeah, unfortunately unable to find anyone, but could have been worse. They don't lose any yards. Just going to be an incomplete pass. Now setting up their second play, still 10 to go. Looking for a target to find, but it is narrowly not intercepted. That could have been real bad, real fast. So maybe a little sigh of relief there for NC Virtual Academy, but now they need to get some progress on this drive.
3rd and 10. As you said, progress is the name of the game. There it is, the throw right up the middle, and they are able to find it. Jukes out of the way to stop the first tackle. Good job by them. It seems like both teams on their first couple of opening plays were kind of feeling it out, but then found progress right after. We'll have to see if NC Virtual Academy has the same amount of success that Riverside did on their first drive as well. We see the lateral toss is not going to pick up it's going to pick up about 1 yard on that play.
1 yard is more than 0 yards, Chris. So progress is progress. 2nd and 9, not feeling too bad about it. We're steadily making our way. Haven't quite crossed that 50-yard threshold. What's the play here? Seems like a lot more passes being favored in this game so far. Not many runs, and that player unfortunately could not turn the afterburners on to catch that ball. Throws it a little bit too far ahead, and now 3rd and 9. But familiar territory, they were able to find the first down last time they were in this position.
Setting up for another passing play. Great pass over to the side. Can they get that first down? Able to hurdle their way to it. First down, again, a little bit slower than Riverside on their drive, but of course, as long as you're making progress, that is all that matters. Doesn't matter how fast it is, since the game is still only in the first quarter here. You just kind of want to even it up in any way possible.
Yeah, no need to take any crazy risks just yet. Going to see some pretty standard football being played. Another pass, it's a long one, and he will catch it and find the end zone. What a play there.
Yes, NC Virtual Academy making me eat my words. They had a great play on that offensive drive, great pass lateral, was able to find a wide open receiver for a touchdown, so they get it pretty quick as well. And we are tied up at 7 apiece with just under 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
7-7. Both teams finding their mark with really not much resistance. There was the couple bad things that could have happened. Interception was close a few times, but doesn't come through. I'd like to see them maybe opt for some more run plays. We saw that strategy very effective in the last game that we watched and all the prior games that we've watched. So throwing a bit risky. You know, the interceptions happen pretty frequently in this game. Looks like the throw will be the play here again. It's going to be a short one, though, with no defender, so no risk of interception, and they will find the first down.
Great throw there, wide open receiver. Took a little bit of time, made sure they picked out the right person again. You don't want to be risky. Sometimes these shorter throws will be the better choice, even if you don't get all the way down the field. This time, though, we do see the run getting all the way out to the side. Great juke onto the inside, right back to the outside to pick up the first down.
So impressive. I mean, got around multiple defenders. Doesn't even get taken down when he's out of bounds. Able to stop himself from being injured as well. Riverside. What's the play here? 1st and 10, 55-yard line. Looks like has a lot of options. Fakes the handoff, but will then throw it to that same target, but only 1 yard as the defense is ready to stop.
Great stop out of NC Virtual Academy. Again, you want to make sure you get these stops as much as possible. Slow down the momentum of your opponent if you can. Try to get those stops. As always, we do see some smarter plays coming out of them, making these runs or short passes. Looks like we might be going for a little bit of a longer one. The one-man coverage is going to be enough to stop that and force the incomplete pass.
Another risky one. Good defense. Making that one a hard catch. 3rd and 9 once again. Okay, lots of options to choose from. Short pass again. Finds the first down. Can he get more? Unfortunately gets pushed back a little bit, but nonetheless, first down achieved. And like you said, doesn't matter how long it takes as long as they find that end zone eventually. Still got some work left to do, though.
Riverside reading their opponent a little bit, knowing that it was 3rd and 9. Maybe thought Virtual Academy was going to try to make that, long pass, but as I say that, they're going to actually lose a little bit of yardage there. But back to that previous play, maybe they saw that deep coverage from NC Virtual and was able to make that short pass, get the first down, but now they will be 2nd and 12, so do have to make a little bit of yardage here up the field if they can, looking for a long, actually runs again right to that short pass and is working out once again to pick them up about 10 yards.
Now, if you're on the side of NC Virtual Academy, you got to start picking up on this. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th time they've gone for this exact play, and it has been caught. Got to start adding some more defenders to that part of the field. But a quick pass off to the right, and it's going to be very effective as they find not only the first down, but several additional yards. 18-yard pass there from Matt Lauder, and I mean, they've already progressed so far up the field, it feels inevitable they find their way to the end zone, so long as they don't turn it over. I'd like to see some run plays come out here. There it is.
Oh, no.
Jukes the wrong way, unfortunately, will suffer as a result. 4 yards being lost. We're now 2nd and 14.
Juked themselves out a bit there,
Yeah.
as you saw. Unfortunately, as you said, a little bit lost. We wanted the run play, but maybe it was a little bit of a curse as they lost 4, but they haven't been too bad on these longer plays. As we saw, they picked up 10 the last time that they were in some negative yardage. There it is.
Wow.
Once again, a great throw right into the touchdown. Maybe playing some mind games, saying, okay, I'm going to lose a little bit of yards, so you let down your guard a little bit, and then you're going to pick up a touchdown right away. Here we see the extra point will be good, and it will be, once again, a 1-touchdown game.
Impressive stuff so far. Riverside and Virtual Academy playing just fine. Neither team really feels significantly far in the lead. Virtual Academy needs to score on this drive, though, to keep this back and forth pace that they've been on. Going to start at the 25-yard line as the ball goes out of bounds.
Great job there. Not running it. I like it. opting to get those better yardage, then possibly getting taken down a little bit closer to your end zone. We do see a running play out here. They are able to find actually significant yardage off of that run. 2nd and 2, going right up the middle. Usually one of the scariest places to send your running back, but this time it will work out for them.
Turns his back and just tries to roll his way across the line. We'll get some extra yardage, not quite to the first down, but doesn't matter if you can keep doing that. Looks like another handoff, and they will force the first down, being taken over right over the line. Still a minute left in this first quarter, and we're starting to see those run plays that we asked for. What's the play here, though?
Setting up, they will toss it laterally. Good job. Are going to find great yardage on that. Again, these run plays, as you said, are working out really well. Again, they don't move you up the field quite as quick, but at the same time, as long as you're moving forward and not backwards, you'll take those. And again, no interceptions, as we saw some spooky plays a little bit earlier. We do see the pass.
Oh, no. And as soon as you cast your curse talking about the interception.
Oh,
and
oh,
what?
oh, no.
What?
It's.
Did he literally, is he throwing?
Caster curse reversed.
The reverse caster curse? I mean, I was going to say he threw that, but he literally threw that.
I caster curse first, but then Eli talked about it right after
to
nulled out my
cancel,
caster curse.
yes.
So NC Virtual Academy going to pick it right back up. Not too worse for wear. Short throw there is going to allow them to pick up the first.
What?
And actually, they move past the defender. Will they get taken down? They will not. They are still going, and they're going to pick up a touchdown.
What are we watching, Chris? I'm still dumbfounded by the fumble because the player had the ball so clearly in their hands and just chucked it away. And I don't know why that happened.
As a player, what do you think about that? Because the NC Virtual Academy will take that any time of any day. But Riverside trying to make a little sneaky play, knowing they're going to get tackled after getting that interception, just allops the lateral, misses it, fumbles it, and then goes right into an instant NC Virtual Academy touchdown.
You can't feel good about it. You feel like you just lost an opportunity to finally take the lead in what has so far been a neck-and-neck race. I mean, we're only dwindling down on the end of the first quarter, but it's just been even so far. And the way that you come ahead in games like this is you have to capitalize on those moments where you do get the touchdown, and then you're the one that scores twice in a row to build some level of separation, but unable to do that. As we see now, Riverside finding the open lane to run it. Probably needs to call the timeout here as the clock is dwindling. They have a timeout available, but they did not. Okay, and they might pay the price for not using the timeout there. Yeah, they're just not able to continue the drive. So a missed timeout opportunity there, and Boise State might be kicking themselves after a couple errors there going into the end of that quarter.
Great, they do get to keep the ball, but they possibly could have used that 5-6 seconds to get a little bit more down the field with one extra play there. So again, as you said, a little bit mismanagement on the mechanics of using that timeout, getting it tackled, a gain of 1, but I think they could have been maybe moved up a little bit more after that. But of course, it's their choice. They haven't been too bad on offense outside of that little mishap on their previous play. We'll have to see what they set up for here. A couple of options down the field, looking for, again, that short, safe option, but this time it will be denied and will force a 3rd and 9.
Less safe that time as well. Multiple defenders on that player, as we see in the replay. Looked like at least the one player was potentially in an interception situation. Now Riverside wanting to guarantee the score here. 3rd and 9 already, though. Ooh. And they're going to get sacked. It's going to be an incomplete pass, so no loss of yards, but 4th and 9, they're going for it. They didn't even think about it.
They may have to after that misplay that they had a little bit earlier, feeling the pressure to make up for it, and they're going to do it here, but gets batted down, so almost turning it over themselves there. May have actually opted for that interception, because now NC Virtual Academy going to be on about that 45-yard line there, and the field position that they basically want. It's almost as if they had taken an onside kick there for themselves.
Right, yeah. I mean, they quickly go into the first play. Don't want to give their opponent any time to think about their defensive options. It's another, oh my God. It bounced off the man's shoulder. He could have just snagged it, but it will fall to the ground. That was a crazy looking play in the replay, but wow, these teams are both playing with fire right now.
We've had no break between this one and last one into this one, just back and forth, you know, plays from both teams. But here they are able to find a great run up the right side to force the first down after a little mishap from their previous play. They will go ahead and take it up the field, and this could be the position for NC Virtual Academy to take the first lead of the game.
Okay, a little bit risky, going pretty far back before moving forward. They do gain a couple yards. That could have been worse for sure. I think was looking for an open receiver, couldn't find it, decided to just run it into out of bounds with some forward progress. Now 2nd and 6, not too far from the goal. Can he get over the line? No, 3rd and inches as the defense stops him short.
Has to be at least one, only one, maybe even a little bit less. Look right on the line there. But again, 3rd and inches, should be able to pick up a first down fairly quickly here. Once we get into it, looks like they are probably just going to try to rush the quarterback right over the line. Yep, good little quarterback run over is going to get them into 1st and goal now. So end zone in their line of sight. Right now, will Riverside be able to force over a stop or a turnover, maybe force them to a field goal, or will NC Virtual Academy be able to take their first lead of the game?
Let's see. Lots of options here. Looks like they will drop back. Do not want to risk the throw. They throw it barely at the last second, and it's going to work. Kind of an awkward moment there, but who cares if it ends in the touchdown. And it didn't even look like the receiver knew that ball was coming, but he was still able to catch it. Good reaction time. And they will get the upright extra point. Riverside trailing by 7 as they take the ball.
And this is what you need. When these games are really close, being able to capitalize off of mistakes is what NC Virtual Academy was able to do after almost one of their own mistakes, and now they are in the lead. We do see Riverside opting to run it up. Isn't going to take too much of a loss there if they had decided for a touchback instead. So they should be in decent field position now going forward. Looking at the different options that they have from the receivers, will drop back, looking for that open receiver on the left side, picking it up, running great juke onto one, finally getting tackled, but nice safe play getting them up the field.
Very impressive. Lots of yards gained. The juke was nice as well. Could have been a little cleaner, though. I think they were a little bit too horizontal. Could have gone for the spin move and continued running straight. Maybe got even more out of it. But regardless, you're not going to be too worried about that. Right now, yeah, I like the decision. It just took a little bit too long to make a decision to throw it. And then ultimately will take the incomplete pass. That should stop any potential turnover situation. Stadium Pulse messing with the plays a little bit here with the squiggly lines. Now chooses the short throw again, but it's only a gain of 2 yards. 3rd and 8. Riverside need a play to go through here. Trailing, this has to be a successful drive, I think.
NC Virtual Academy may be finding those plays to get the stop, so we'll have to see if Riverside swaps anything up. But here it is, a quick throw right into the receiver.
Wow.
We see that play being so successful over the middle, and it will lead to a touchdown.
That's the 2nd time now they've done that same exact play where it's 3rd and 8 or 9, and you think they're going to just go for the first down, but they find the end zone, maybe a little bit unexpected as the defense protecting the first down line, but they need to protect that end zone as that's where the ball is headed. Now tied up again. There is no separation between these teams so far. I feel like it's going to come down to like a fumble or an interception into back-to-back scoring opportunities for one of these teams if we're going to see any separation.
So far, that has been the name of the game, which has led to now NC Virtual Academy kind of being on the front foot, because even though it's tied, if they score now, they will be in the lead. So they do kind of have that advantage misplayed there, I would say a bit. Really wide throw out there. Receiver not able to finish their route to be in the spot that the QB was looking for. So good first stop out of Riverside. Will NC Virtual Academy be able to counter out? They have been really good on making some of these long plays when needed. Rush there, though. Great throw to a receiver to stop any bleeding and pick up 7 on that play.
Pick up 7, 3rd and 3. Seeing a more normal game of football being played here than we saw in the first game. It felt like unbelievable play after unbelievable play, but this is very slow and steady, traditional football being played. We'd love to see that as well. Here we go, 3rd and 3. What's the play? I think there's a lot of space on that right side. A couple defenders ready to protect, though. And we see an opening right in the center and runs right through it in almost a tragic scenario. However, able to recover the ball quickly after the fumble, but that got pretty scary, didn't it, Chris?
It did. I'm over here, hands on my head, just all sorts of moving in and out, standing up on my seat with these plays these players are making. And there we see another great running play. It's going to pick them up a couple yards. On that play is about 6 yards there that we see at the end. So again, almost capitalizing on their own mistake there.
Right.
That fumble coming out, picking it up, running it for about 1 extra yard. You'll take them any day of the week. We do see a quick pass coming out. Great vision.
Great juke as well. Around 3 defenders. It took 5 men to take this guy down. And he's only taken down at the 23-yard line. If we can watch this replay, jukes around the first few. I mean, the footwork on these receivers has been immaculate.
Setting up for their next play, trying to move up the yard. Play clock still about 30 seconds, so they can take their time a little bit to see the best play possible here. Getting pressured, though.
Ooh, okay. Could have been a lot worse. It could have been an interception or a sack, but instead it's just an incomplete pass. But good defense. Great defensive pressure putting on the QB. This player seems to favor moving to that right side. Now going to fake me out, though. Goes to the left side through the center. Jukes multiple targets and finds the touchdown out of nowhere. It did not feel like that was their time to strike, but they proved me wrong.
Fakes, jukes in game and out of game here, leading to their next touchdown. And as I said, this has allowed them to get in the lead here by that 1 touchdown. That one mistake has shown to be the really big point, and of course Riverside not able to really capitalize on the mistake during this drive. On that fumble, of course, that was a little bit of luck. Who was able to get to it first? Will we be able to see them? Riverside has to make sure that they can get up the field here, opting to run it. Gonna get a little bit shy of that 20-yard line there, it looks like. Not the worst place to be, but of course maybe it would have been a little bit better to opt for that touchback instead to get the few extra yards. Can they convert on this play, though?
Okay, it's going to be handed off and will earn 6 yards. Big pickup. And so far, I mean, these teams just have consistently found their way to the end zone. It's taken longer than we've seen in prior games, but if they're always making it, it's just going to continue. Oh, what? I don't know how that play ended. Okay, I think it just counts as an incomplete. 2-minute timeout comes out. Yeah, okay, incomplete pass, but that could have gone a few different ways. Now, 3rd and 4. Are they going long again? No. Okay, I like this a lot. There's one very wide open player. He's standing right over the first down line. Might as well chuck it to him.
Both teams, despite the score right now, have had very good defensive pressure on their opponents, but able to find those small little first downs have been the bread and butter of both teams so far. It looks like they were able to convert on that long play, though. So finally, one of those longer plays coming out, moving Riverside up the field, getting them past that 50-yard line to about the 35, dropping back for another long throw. Is going to go out of bounds there, forcing the incomplete pass. Maybe they look to go back to some of those shorter plays, not that they've moved up the field a little bit there. Don't have to do any of those risky plays because that is the name of the game right now. Who can capitalize the most on defense?
who can capitalize on defense. Does seem like the only way for one of these teams to find the difference. But or if the offense fails to make it down at range, because we've seen a couple inaccurate passes in a row. Now 3rd and 10. Gotta feel like this one needs to find its target. Finally does at the, oh no, it does not. That's the wrong color. And that's going to be intercepted, and all of a sudden, NC Virtual Academy with the game in their hands. This is what we were waiting on, Chris, is for one of these teams on defense to find a way to turn the tide, and that's exactly what Virtual Academy just did.
They found a target. It just was the wrong target.
Right.
There it is, but NC Virtual Academy going to capitalize on that mistake, back on offense with the lead. Getting a big throw that almost looked like it was about to turn over right again.
I mean, just like earlier when we saw the back-to-back, was it just going to be all for naught? It's not what you want to see if you're NC Virtual, but has many more opportunities to progress this one down the field. It's going to be another short pass and another interception. We called it, Chris. It doesn't matter how this one plays out. Every time the defense gets some semblance of a advantage, it's just turned right back over, and Riverside gotta be having a sigh of relief after that one.
They now have the ability to tighten it up. They have to convert here. A long run out the side.
What?
Duke on the inside. There it is. Instant touchdown.
This is unreal. Virtual Academy had the chance to go up by 2 touchdowns, but after the interception, Riverside capitalizes in a heartbeat. And we are tied again at 28 apiece. You would also think that maybe one of these teams would go for the 2-point conversion, but it's also risky because if you fail it, you will not tie the lead. So just going with the safe bet. And neither team refusing to give up.
And a lot of respect to them for that. Great run up the middle here, though. Again, it seems to be almost a patented move when they get that ball. Instead of running it out to the sides, they just kind of like to run it right up the middle, and they're finding some lanes to do so as well. Here they are, NC Virtual Academy going to want to move it up the field, though. About a minute left in the half. Are going to get tackled there, but got the ball out of their hands in just enough time to ward off a loss of yardage. Going for another quick play here, setting up once again. Will they opt to run it? We see a couple of the options from the defense there, though. Great pass out into the side. We'll pick up 9 yards on the play.
Barely caught there. That was just inches from being out of bounds at the last second, but just 1 yard to go. Virtual feeling pretty good about this. Will be handed off, and the first down guaranteed. Can they get more, though? It's going to be a juke to the left, and this last player is right on their heels, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop him. No, it's going to be another touchdown right away from Virtual Academy.
Look at that juke, just getting them into the inside to move and get that first down. These plays are so massive for both teams on offense here. They're trading touchdowns almost, trading turnovers almost at the same time. But NC Virtual Academy still on top here, opted to get that that field goal to get that extra point as well. As you said, they're not really going for these 2-point conversions, and with as close as it is, it does make a lot of sense.
Absolutely, and we are back to another traditional kickoff. Ball goes downfield. It's going to be another run as well. Is there an opening they can find? No, that's going to be stopped pretty short now, only at the 15-yard line. Very interesting that neither team has really chosen to just go for the touchback, the fair catch to get started on the 25-yard line. But I guess it hasn't made a difference because they're able to make it to the end zone every time anyways. Just got to think that they would like to give themselves a little bit better chance sometimes. It's going to be an aggressive pass to the center, but it will be incomplete as it will not find the target.
Plenty of time there after dropping back, but really couldn't find someone to open the throw to. So NC Virtual Academy will get the stop there. 2nd and 10. We're looking at another throw. They found their target. Can they catch it? Almost intercepted.
You got to imagine that Virtual Academy is kind of fishing for something like that now, right? Like they want to secure not just a 1 touchdown lead. It's got to be 2. Start to feel a little bit more comfortable. All right now. Riverside, only 26 seconds left in this half, though, so this is actually a great opportunity for Virtual Academy to turn the tide as this player is seemingly just pushing players down in front of him. And 4th and 6. Okay, we will see the timeout come through. I think that's smart right now. With just 17 seconds to go and a lot of field to cover, you need some more space to work with.
Good decision making, I think, out of Riverside here. It looks like, okay, so it will be a second timeout being used this time. Looks like from North Carolina to shift some of their plays. 17 seconds left. As long as you do not turn over the ball, you should have either enough time to get a touchdown or possibly just run the clock out to leave it as that one touchdown game. So we see their decision making coming into play here on what it looks like they're trying to do. 8 seconds left on the play clock.
Oh.
Do you? Oh.
I mean, that was a good first down, but there's still so much ground to cover. I mean, I like that it immediately goes out. You see him to dive forward. I think that actually made the difference between the first down. Okay, we got a booth review coming out.
So that is, it looks like the AI actually trying to review it there. But the first down will stand from that nice little diving. Or actually, so it was actually turned over. So it actually wasn't forced into it.
Oh,
it may
wow.
have been what that review was looking over there. Actually, may have been from Boise State, thinking they could have gotten the first down.
Oh.
But here is a massive
Wow.
throw.
Finally, this is what they've been looking for, to capitalize on the mistakes of their opponent, and at the perfect time to do so. Just seconds left in this half. Now they can take a 2-touchdown lead finally.
I'm not going to lie. I thought even with that turnover, with the way defense was playing and the kind of slower plays that we saw coming up the field, Riverside would have been able to ward off a possible touchdown, maybe only forcing a field goal at most. But NC Virtual Academy is saying, not today. We are going to get this touchdown and make it a 2-touchdown game. Here it is, the kickoff on to Riverside. They will have to run it at this point to see if they can make up any yardage. 6 seconds left on the game clock for the second quarter. Of course, not the worst position to be in, though.
Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder how Boise State opt to play the situation, because you don't want to go for a risky play that could be turned over and then potentially give Virtual Academy a chance to score again. But let's see. Maybe it will just be a short pass. Maybe thinking they can play the long game, will get taken down and time will expire. So we will enter halftime.
Not the worst decision making, as you said. No turnover happening. They do have to kick it off, so NC Virtual Academy will be starting with the ball with the 2-touchdown lead. They've been very effective on offense so far. Right now will be kind of do or die time for Riverside to stop the bleeding a bit, keep it at possibly a 2-touchdown game, and maybe at worst a 2-touchdown game and a field goal as well. But NC Virtual Academy will have something to say against it. They're setting up for the first drive of this half now. Going to get stopped, actually losing a yard on that play.
Losing a yard for... We haven't seen too many yards lost from either team. I think both these teams have been very good at throwing an incomplete pass if the pressure starts mounting. At the very least, just 1 yard's not going to make a massive difference. But here we see the handoff. And now a very easy first down. Jukes to the left again. We saw this very similar play earlier in the game, and he will stutter step it into the end zone. And out of nowhere, what was a tight locked game, tied at 28-28, is now a huge lead for Virtual Academy. Can they get the extra point as well? They will.
And it's coming down to those capitalizations on the misplays, on the turnovers. NC Virtual Academy just that much better to do it. And now, again, they were both finding success on offense, but now it's just more the success on the turnovers from Riverside that NC Virtual Academy has been able to capitalize on that has gotten them this 3-touchdown game.
3 touchdowns in the lead, half of the game to go. They've got to be feeling good about it, but anything's possible. Still plenty of time for Riverside to find a touchdown here, maybe an interception into the next offensive drive from Virtual Academy. It's got to start with a touchdown here, though, you'd have to imagine, as the long pass goes down, and it will be caught. And just like I said, it's got to start with a touchdown here if you're going to bring it back, as he dives into the end zone to add insult to injury. But, wow, I mean, very impressive from Riverside to not be deterred by the lead that Virtual Academy has gained, and now give themselves a chance to come back in this.
That's definitely one way to do it. You want to get back in the game. The best way is to score a quick touchdown like that. Might be a little bit of a miss hit here on the kickoff. Yes, it is. It's going to go out of bounds, so the flag will come out. So great starting field position for the side of NC Virtual Academy going into this next drive here. Starting on that, about that 41-yard line. Can't get much better than that. Gonna run it for about 1 yard there, trying to look for the success at the middle that they found a couple times, but this time it will be stopped by Riverside.
1 yard's not exactly what you're looking for, but going into second down, still 9 to go. Will fake the handoff and just run it himself. Love that. Will be taken down just over that first down line. And the fake outs have been impressive, I think, from most of our college football players. Just making the eyes go one way, you go the other way, as it's just going to be handed off and ran again for another pickup of 8 yards. Will get taken down, but, I mean, they could continue doing this all the way to the end zone if they wanted at this pace.
2nd and 2. Again, nice run up the middle. As you said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. There it is, right up the middle. No need for any fancy plays to get that first down. Just need to get it over the line. Again, slow and steady at this point for NC Virtual Academy would be one of the best ways to play. They're looking for another play here, and actually great job using the QB to pick up another first down.
So effective at just finding these openings. This time, none of the receivers were open. You kind of didn't expect him to run it right over the line 4 times in a row. 3 times he's already pushing it. This time goes wide. What's the play here? Will be handed off, and the run is back again. And, I mean, how easy has it been for this player to make it downfield? If you're on the side of Riverside, you've got to start rethinking your defense and maybe changing your coverage plays here. As we've got the options on the screen here, but they have not been choosing a way to stop Virtual Academy.
NC Virtual Academy had 250 yards plus on both rushing and passing yardage. A fumble coming out. We'll have to see who it got recovered by. It looks like it will stay on the side of NC Virtual Academy. But opposing that, though, Riverside only had about 60 rushing yards that we saw right there as well. So it shows the duality of the gameplay coming out of NC Virtual Academy, helping them stay on top there. The booth review will come out still in favor of NC Virtual Academy, actually having a couple yards on the play there. Instead of 2nd and 11, they started 2nd and 8.
Interesting. Okay. Not sure if the booth review was opted for by the player or how that mechanic works. We'll have to look into that so we can better explain it to you guys. But, okay, 3rd and 6, really not that far from the goal. And he's looking for a target to throw it at, and it's not the right one, as that's going to be intercepted in what Riverside needed, and he might not have anyone available to stop him. Is this another pick 6, 90-plus yard? Oh, my God. He is just inches away from the end zone, but what an insane interception and run.
Yes, unfortunately, that defender may not have had the exact pace that some of those offensive players had, so they were able to stop them at about the 1 yard line. But again, this is what you were saying. They needed to get some of these defensive stops and turn them into their advantage, and this is exactly the read that they need. Here it should be a touchdown.
Oh.
Nope. A little bit of a preemptive dive there, not getting them exactly into the end zone. 2nd and goal, still where they want to be at the moment.
I think they were able to pick up 1 yard there. Yeah, they're less than a yard from, maybe less than half a yard from the end zone. Might just force it in. No, surprisingly backing up here, and I don't know if it's the play. Oh, my goodness. 3rd and goal, but that got scary.
It did. It looked like if they had just committed to that run, they would have been in the end zone there. Luckily, the incomplete pass will keep them at about the half an inch or half a yard, as you said. A little bit of hitting there. They will cross over with their foot before being taken out. It does count, so they will put it back into a one-touchdown game.
Wow. Yeah, I think trying to get a little bit too fancy on that second play, faking out, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just walk your way to the end zone, especially when you're that close. It's going to find its way into the end zone. More often than not, this kick going to go to the left a bit here. And again, we see another run. Sees somewhat of an open pocket, but that gets closed up in a hurry as the defense is ready to stop.
Maybe should have opted for that touchback to get onto the 25-yard line. Not the worst positioning, though. They are up by one touchdown, so they're most likely going to want to look to scoring again here. As we haven't talked much about this game, as we actually going to look at this throw first. Right down the line, right into an open receiver and into a quick touchdown. And there it is, what exactly they are looking for after one play of that drive back to a 2-touchdown game.
That was insane. I mean, one play is all it took to get this one all the way down, and now going for the extra point again. Neither of these players interested at all in the 2-point conversion, it seems, but maybe just thinking they don't need to build that level of separation right now. Not worth the risk, because if they had failed, then makes it too easy for their opponent to come back. But I don't know. I think one of these teams needs to start applying a little bit of extra pressure to their opponent. Right now, it's in the hands of Virtual Academy to do that.
Riverside, though, maybe feeling the pressure on their next touchdown on third quarter, under about 3 minutes, 30 seconds, may have to start opting for some of these 2-point conversions to try to get them back in the game a little bit quicker. We do see a run is going to go ahead and get them onto that first down. We saw a little bit of the juke there, looked a little risky there, right there as they got hit, but picking that up is going to progress them down the field just a bit. And again, they still have time though, so they'll have to see if they can make it up a little bit. Looking for a possible pass here, or will they opt to run it? Nope.
Oh, wow, the spinning catch from this player, and able to get some extra yards afterwards. Not quite able to stay in bounds as he gets forced out by that last defender. But wow, what a play there. Waited till the last second to decide to throw it. That player does with the spin move catch. Now quick play, trying to see if they can find the end zone. Finds a player to the right side. Gets taken down, but that is a gain of 4, and they are just a matter of time away from scoring again.
We'll want to pick up this first down before getting it into goal range. That way they have a couple more plays to pick up. As we saw, they had a little bit of struggles getting into the end zone last time. We're able to convert, but it did take them a couple of plays to do so. Looks like they're taking their time, looking for the short pass. We're going to run right into an NC defender there. So we'll pick up a loss of about 4 yards there. 3rd and 10, still doable.
3rd and 10, certainly doable here. How do they proceed from here? They've had not too many difficulties getting it to the end zone, but on 3rd down, it's always a little bit more stressful. You got to feel like this is a very important one to work out. It goes for the end zone, but it's intercepted. And you got to wonder if he could have played it a little bit safer. This player will get taken down, but it doesn't matter. To deny the scoring opportunity from Riverside is massive in that moment. And Riverside got to be kicking themselves a little bit there.
Felt the pressure indeed. These risky throws that we haven't seen too much over the course of this game are starting to come out a little bit more now that one player is feeling, being behind. They want to catch up. They want to make those big plays. But if you turn it over, it's all for naught. Here we see a handoff into a great running play, going to be able to pick up that first down for the side of NC Virtual Academy, moving up the field at the pace they are. On Riverside, you have to force some sort of turnover and good field positioning here.
Have to. You're exactly right. Running out of time, 3rd quarter so far to stop that run from getting too much distance. Only 1 yard gained now. Riverside absolutely need a turnover here, because this is trending towards another Virtual Academy victory. Like we said, this is one of the teams that's currently undefeated, and they're starting to show why, as they are finding ways to get down the field time and time again, finding another first down. And Riverside got to find a way to stop this.
The details are great in this game. Looking at those emojis from the sidelines, they're helping out the plays. But great stop, no yardage, no loss, slowing down the pace a little bit on C Virtual Academy. Riverside's doing a good job on defense so far. Want to make a big stop here, though. It doesn't have to be the perfect stop, and maybe forcing them to a kick would be one of the best plays that we can see here. Don't always have to get an interception or a fumble. Sometimes just forcing a kickoff will be a good play as well. Lateral toss right into a defender. Loss of 5 yards, 3rd and 15.
Finally, we're seeing one of these blitzes send the team on offense backwards. Not something we've seen a lot this game so far, but those are the type of plays that will get Boise State the ball back. This is usually where Virtual Academy goes for a long pass and succeeds, though. This time is incomplete, but that was a scary situation. Almost the interception that Riverside was looking for. Now 4th and 15. What does Virtual Academy do? Okay, I like this, actually. You're already in the lead. Might as well just go for the punt. Get this one back downfield and put your opposition in a more difficult scoring position instead of risking turning the ball over close to the end zone.
Great punt, great stop, but that is the stop Riverside was looking for. They forced the punt to come out. No points for NC Virtual Academy in the first time in a long time here, actually. Great field positioning. They're starting with here, so they'll have to convert, though. We'll see if they can get this first down.
Okay. Boise State need to capitalize on this opportunity. The clock is running down, even though the game clock is paused. Okay, play clock not going to be penalized for that one running out. 2nd and 8. This quarter will end, but they will remain in possession of the ball. But this drive needs to find the end zone, down by 14. Want to probably, I don't know, they don't need to rush getting to the end zone. I think they should do so carefully, because the next turnover could be the end of the game if Virtual Academy can score and make it a 3-touchdown game. But Riverside, they can't take too long to find this goal, because you can't forget they would need a second one as well.
Have to be smart. Can't really be slow and steady. Have to be steady, but can't turn it over, as you said. There it is, a nice little throw that should pick up a first down. These are the kind of the plays that they're going to want to be looking for. Getting good yardage at the same time, but not too risky of a play that would turn the ball over. Of course, you have to be careful getting a little bit later into the game. The fumbles might be forced out a little bit more, as some players are getting a little more injuries taken to their character. Of course, those flips look cool, but of course put some strain on the body as well. Here we see them taking a little bit of time to pick out their next play. The clock is winding down, though, so we'll have to see them probably get a snap off here in a couple more seconds.
All right. The clock going down, but they're still taking their time. That seems totally fine. They do pick up 5 here, 2nd and 5. Curious to see if they continue to go for run plays during this stretch of the field. It seems like once they get to about 30-yard line is where they're more comfortable going for those pass plays. So far, it looks like a pass play will be decided here, but can't find the target just yet, and that was almost an interception. Okay. It was actually a complete pass around 3 defenders, so great pickup there. Another first down.
Capitalizing on that moment to get down the field, looking for another passing play. Might opt to just run it here, though, but they find a receiver that is going to be open. Unfortunately, cannot hold on to it, though. So it is going to force out a 2nd and 10. They need to find a way to move up here. We see the routes that are being shown from the player. That stadium pulse making those lines a little squiggly. Ooh. Nice catch over the defender, is going to get a first down. Little risky, but as long as it pays off.
Risky, but successful. Another first down. They are charging their way down the field. This is exactly what we talked about. They have taken a few risks that could have gone the other way, but so far picking safer options. In a situation where they have to, another safe option chosen here. Just chuck that ball out when the defenders are approaching. Boise State, though, needing to score. 2nd and 10 now.
Setting up for the snap. We see a couple different options. Can have runs as well as some passing plays here. Short pass once again. Going to find about 3 yards on the play. It's nice, but you do have to move up a little bit quicker here. You are 3rd and 7. You are within scoring range, but you are down by a couple of touchdowns. You have to make these next couple of plays count. We do see the stadium pulse roaring up there as the home team will want to stop this play from progressing too much. I'm not sure I really like them counting down the clock as much, but we do see the throw here. It is going to fare out well. So what do I know? Great job by them, taking a little bit more extra time on that play, able to find it. They are within scoring distance here, so they will need to capitalize.
I think they're going at exactly the right speed. I mean, there's still going to be plenty of time left after this touchdown, assuming they earn it. Still have to earn it, though. Can't think too far ahead, but playing that clock game, giving yourself enough time to turn the ball over and potentially tie it up going into the end. But got to get this one home first. That is step 1 in the process. And now it's instead going to be turned over at the worst possible time for Boise State. That was such an important touchdown to receive, and instead it is intercepted in the end zone. Not much yardage afterwards, but the damage has been done. Riverside has to be reeling after that one.
This is the 2nd time that they've thrown an interception in the end zone here, back to back. And of course, it's maybe you saw that last time and maybe opt for maybe a run or two to get up the field a bit there and then get into the end zone. But here we see NC Virtual Academy opting to run it up, gonna get about a couple yards on that play. 3rd and 3. They're taking a little more time, being a little more methodical with their plays now that they know they are up, and they're getting these stops as well. Only 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. We see a drop back. They're running. It looks like they're going to try to pick it up with the quarterback himself. Smart move by the NC Virtual Academy player to go ahead and pick up some time as well as some yards on that play.
Yeah, at this point, clock play certainly on the mind of NC Virtual Academy. They might be able to just ride this one to a victory. And this is kind of what we talked about in the previous games from NC Virtual Academy. They're undefeated, but with a very small point differential. So maybe just kind of understanding that it doesn't matter how much they win by, as long as they win. The most important thing is winning the game. After that is the point differential. So I mean, I kind of like the strategy. They are able to just nearly eke out victories, playing pretty safe along the way.
A little bit opposite from our last one where we saw that really high point differential and really high scoring game compared to more of the closer scoring game here. 56 points, nothing small about that number, but we do see 42 on the opposite end though. So very close game, but now we do see the clock being played out a bit more. Great rush out of Riverside, although a nice little throw there is going to keep it 4 and 6. Will they decide to punt it? We have seen that earlier. They are a little more conservative with their plays here, so we will see it out once again. Being up, of course, by 2 touchdowns and getting all those turnovers, they probably feel pretty confident in their play.
Yeah, I mean, with just a minute on the clock, they got to be feeling pretty good about their chances of stopping not one, but even if they allow 1 touchdown, it's going to be very hard for Riverside at this point to score 2. So taking that 2-touchdown lead in their favor, they can just make some good defensive plays here and help dwindle down that clock.
Setting up for the snap. We see them dropping back. Small little throw, but effective once again to pick up all those yards. They will pick up the 1st down. Luckily, getting out of bounds as well will stop that game clock right there, and plenty of time on the play clock as well to make the smart decisions that they need to go forward. We do have to see them press up the field though here.
It's honestly a perfect play in the prior one. It's going to be almost nice catch. Incomplete instead. 2nd and 10. Still the situation here, but need more of those plays where they don't waste much time off the clock and then also pause it as they earn a 1st down. If they can do that a few more times, it's kind of necessary, I think, right now, if they want any chance of winning this game. 1 minute is not a lot of time to work with, especially now with the accelerated clock in play.
What are they looking for? They found their target. Can they get the touch? But once again, denied by a defender. NC Virtual Academy saying, I have figured out what I need to do for defense. I know you're going to throw it. They had about 400 and I believe 91 passing yards from the side of Riverside. So NC Virtual Academy has been able to set up their defense around this.
Oh.
No interception, but the stop will put them at 4th and 6 on this play. Riverside have to go for it, though.
Do or die situation here. You've got to at least get the first down and likely stop the clock at the same time, because just 35 seconds time is running out for Riverside. This one needs to be good, but it is not, and I think that's going to be it, as the players already celebrating a little bit now. Virtual Academy, all they have to do is run out the clock, already up by 2 touchdowns. I think this one's an inevitability. And Virtual Academy just proving why they're here. I mean, he wants to add to the score at this point, says, okay, let me just get another touchdown to just absolutely guarantee it.
If you want to catch up to those leaders of the conference, you do have to get some of these points in, because if they both stay so they are going to go ahead and kneel it out at the end instead of opting to get that maybe last touchdown. But a win is a win. They will take it, and it came down to those turnover plays that allowed NC Virtual Academy to take the lead. And what a great game from both sides, though.
That was a very contested match from both sides. Congrats to Virtual Academy for pulling out the W by 2 touchdowns. Not a crazy margin, but enough to guarantee it. So, Chris, I mean, Virtual Academy now 4-0. Northside Onslow B 4-0 as well. Probably a handful of others that once we have that leaderboard ready, we'll take a look at later. But for now, I'm just impressed with the level of play that we're seeing across the board. This has been really fun to watch.
It has. And both of these teams are really showing why they are 4-0 and undefeated right now. They're playing both very good offense and defense, able to capitalize on the mistakes of their opponents, and it leads them to victory each time. They both seem to have some plays that work out really well for them, especially that running game. We see them both on the side of really being able to use both large amount of passing and rushing yards. And I think that's been one of the biggest differences, because they minimize on the mistakes that they make, and it allows them to achieve their victories each week.
That's exactly right. The name of the game is making as little mistakes as possible. Typically, the team that makes the least mistakes, the one that comes out on top. Everybody makes mistakes, but if you can make less of them, that's the way to come out ahead. But that's going to do it for the college football segment of the broadcast. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, though, real quick, to see how the rest of the teams are faring across the season. So after that performance, 248 to 85, Onslow with a towering lead in the case of total points. But on the other side, we've got looks like just 3 teams. So Northside Onslow, Grays Creek, and Southwest Edgecombe are the only 3 teams 4-0, although I believe NC Virtual Academy should also be on that list. So we'll double check that for you guys. But wow, impressive so far on the leaderboard.
Look at all of those teams, and we're really seeing the big difference, though, is that points for versus points against, that point differential, making such a big change on that leaderboard there between the top 3. We do see Grace Creek at, though, 120 positive, though. So they'll be looking pretty, most likely moving into that second place, just a little bit behind Northside Onslow B. So actually, if you think about it, though, that big, massive game coming out of Pine Forest, scoring there, actually pushed down that point differential a lot from Northside Onslow, sorry. So Grace Creek might be able to catch up. So it'd be really cool to see if they end up playing each other at one point to see who might come out on top.
Yeah, lots of very good players in this season as we approach the playoffs and the state championship. Keep playing all your matches, guys. Make sure you're showing up to those. A forfeit can hurt quite a bit and your chances of making it. But thanks again for watching the college football segment, and let's go ahead and throw it to a break. When we come back, we'll have some Overwatch action for you guys.
technology from an esports and STEM perspective. Jonathan Stewart, former Carolina Panthers legend. Alongside input from the mayor of Charlotte, Vi Lyles. Who actually needs it? Because the Love and Life Music Festival is an amazing place. The main stage VIP is even better.
I told you about the esports big rig that'll be there. What's your favorite game?
Between either Madden or 2K.
You think you'll be Boblin?
Depending on how often he plays video. Yeah.
I got celebrate a birthday with an opportunity of a lifetime. So let's go with the birthday girl right here. We made this game partnering with Epic Games in our own North Carolina. This wouldn't be possible without our boy Steve Isaacs over here from Epic Games. He brought us the partnership that made the map of the festival. The Love and Life Music Festival is about to take over.
No, you just keep going straight. You'll find the victory here. We got a shortcut. We got a shortcut. Shortcut. Guess who's gonna win it? Let's hear you guys. Be alive, baby. Who did it? Who did it? Right there. Player 5. Player 5. Player 5. Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the Week 4 coverage from Sandhills for college football and Overwatch. We just finished doing all the football matches and taking a look at that leaderboard now, transitioning into our team game 5v5 Overwatch. This is always so exciting. As a arena shooter player myself, I am always excited to watch some Overwatch. Still learning a little bit, but I feel like I kind of understand what's going on now, and it's just getting it more exciting for me to see these really talented squads go up against each other. Looks like the two matches we have today are going to be Durham School of the Arts versus West Craven, and then after that we're jumping into JP Knapp Early College versus New Bern. Both of these matchups looking pretty fun today, Chris.
They are, and Overwatch has just been getting better as the season is going. We've seen some really standout players as well, be it on tanks or those DPS, as well as some really clutch healers coming out also. So again, you love to see the team games because it really shows the unity between the schools and the players as well, and how well they start meshing up together as the season goes out. So I'm very excited to see what we see today.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Durham School of the Arts is the team featuring Mr. Swag Boy himself, the Wrecking Ball player that I think went on a 40-kill streak in the last week that we witnessed. So let's see if he can keep that up into this week. And it's not just him, though. The whole team knowing how to play around his play style, keeping him topped off with the heals, also making sure that he just has as much free reign to work with as possible. And he's so good at just kind of entering a fight and exiting the fight at the perfect time. Let's see if Wes Craven has the answer for his play style, though. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1. Here we go. I think this was Nepal that we were starting off on. So this is back to control, as we always start here. Both teams going to be looking to secure the point and hold on to it. We do see Swag Boy playing again, no substitution. And then on the other side is West Craven, as we take a quick look around the arena here.
As always, love to see the virtual tours of the maps right before you get in, especially when you can't see the characters just yet before being able to pick. It is nice to get those little drone tours throughout the area to see who it is, but we do see both of them starting to pick up. Of course, Swag Boy getting onto that wrecking ball, really good mobility, as well as a very tanky character. And as you see, he can actually put out a lot of damage as well. On the opposite side, though, West Craven opting to get that Reinhardt as their tank. We do see the Reaper as well, so I'll be interested to see how they play out the Reaper on this map. As you can see, there's a lot of entry points there on that first control point that we see. We do see the Sombra using her mobility to try to get there first. Also invisible for that little bit of time that allows them to kind of get some visuals on the enemy that we see. But Swag Boy picking up where they left off last week, getting right into the face of the enemy team. We are checking out the point of view from the Sombra, though, trying to get some hacks onto the enemy. Right now, we do see Durham has more control over that point, though.
And by the way, I did take a quick peek at the leaderboard, and it looks like West Craven also undefeated. So could potentially be the toughest challenge that Durham Arts have faced. But like we said before, they just have looked so dominant. But as I say that, two of them do go down. Looks like this player trying to do their best to mitigate the damage, as Durham School of the Arts so far not able to capture the point. West Craven with the early lead.
And we see there, even though Wrecking Ball is able to get kind of into the back line, we saw West Craven kind of move on to that point, utilize those numbers with the Wrecking Ball being in the back to get those first couple kills. They were able to pick up about the first 20% here and are staying on it, utilizing their characters really well. Reinhardt super hard to kill with that up, but will finally fall. 3 kills onto the side of Durham School of the Arts will allow them to finally gain control of this point and get their first couple of percentages, with 2 of them coming from Swag Boy.
Okay, this is really big to go ahead and retake it. Typically, a team can often run away with the lead, but this is already proven to be pretty close. As a sneaky attack from Swag Boy. And I think he understands that this team is more difficult than some of their other competitors, so opting for his, who I think is probably his main champion, is the Wrecking Ball. And what a nice entrance here with the 2-piece so far, and looking to push these players back to make even more space for his teammates.
We have to commend his ability there, getting behind them, kind of forcing them into that choke point, laying down the ultimate, the minefield ultimate right there. As you see, there's nowhere they can move. They just got hit by it and were getting just destroyed by that ultimate with the amount of damage that the rest of the team is putting on. He was able to use that. We see 2 ultimates, one from the Juno, one from the Reinhardt on the side of West Craven, but the Sombra does have that massive hack available to her as well. Brigitte also having theirs almost online at 94%. And then we also see a couple more. The May should be the last one to follow. We do see the hack coming out. They're able to use the ultimate. Great shatter, though, by the side of Reinhardt, followed up by the Juno to help give them the extra bit. Should be able to find a couple more kills to take back control of this point.
Wow, that was such an impressive re-engage. Jaeger coming off spawn with a vengeance and able to immediately get the shatter on those players to completely turn the tide of the situation. And we'll get the game back on your screen in just a second here as we're taking a look. There we go. So, all right, we've got Wrecking Ball from Swag Boy still causing mayhem, as he is often doing at all times whenever he's on the screen.
Utilizing the ultimate from May to get that freeze out and start getting some of those kills, but it is back and forth as we do see counter kills from the side of West Craven. It actually might be more in their favor at the moment as they're taking this up. The Brigitte and still have their ultimates up, but it's not going to matter as Swag Boy has decided to take matters into his own hamster hands and pick up a couple of kills. This should allow them to get control of the point if they can force off the last remaining remaining members here. The Currituck does have that ult online. It's not going to opt to use it, which I respect at the moment. They realize they lost that fight. It's not the end of the world yet. They wanted to make sure that they can get a couple of the members back here. Def 73% for the side of Durham School of the Arts. They still have the 2 ultimates up, but a couple of members are following a trade 1-for-1. West Craven, though, picking up a couple of kills. Swagboy trying to do his best on that point to get it. Will they be able to find the kill on to the Bastion? They will. So great job by them. They're trying to counter up. We do have the Sombra with that massive ultimate onto a majority of them. Should be able to help them keep the game here. They're at about 95%, but this Roadhog is so hard to kill, so beefy, will finally help secure the kill and possibly get them this point into overtime.
Wow, what an impressive sequence from both sides, really. I love the way that Swagboy entered that engagement just by swinging in front of the wall and then slamming down right in front, but here we go. Hamster is back in the fight as we see Jaeger trying to slow him down, but he gets taken down quickly. And this is back to Swagboy's comfort zone where he can just kind of fly around and shoot targets. His target acquisition and maneuverability has been so impressive. It's 99-99 and looking to steal the last point. It does get contested at the last second. 5-player kill streak coming out, but finally Durham with the last percentage point, 100-99. We knew this was going to be a good one, Chris, but I don't know if we expected that.
The whole hog at the end, not enough from the side of West Craven to keep them on it. Overtime at 99 apiece, though. So great job by West Craven, able to keep this game really close. But again, just Swagboy doing so well, placing those mines in the great places, especially on that point in the last fight there, was able to help them keep it. They were able to get all these, stagger kills off onto West Craven because West Craven was trying to do their best to get on the point at the end. Just was not enough for them to get any kills on the side of Durham to take that point. But we are moving into the second. We do see Swagboy opting off of the Wrecking Ball onto the Diva now, though, moving forward.
Interesting choice here. I don't think we've seen him utilize Diva too much. Maybe just favoring her kit a little bit more for this specific zone. This is the one that is kind of in this precarious position in the center of multiple places you can fall off the level. And we see the Maga coming out from Jaeger now. Going to disengage for the moment, but comes right back to it. And I don't think he realized he's about to get jumped when he turns this corner, but he does not appear to be afraid. Is forced to back down. But where are the rest of his teammates? He's going to go down in a hurry. And yes, you're the tank, but you can't survive that much DPS on you at the same time.
Great missiles coming out. We see the defense matrix to stop some of those projectiles. Great defensive tool by Divas to allow her team to pick up the kills. They should finally get control of this point. About 14% for the side of West Craven, so they were able to sneak some percentages in there, which they were able to do the first time as well, which kept them in the game. But here we see it ticking up for the side of Durham School of the Arts, doing so well. Diva already at about 71% on her ultimate, doing such a good job getting that up there. We saw Jaeger actually swap off of the Moiga onto the second tank here, though. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. A little bit more shields coming out from the side of West Craven. There it is, the ultimate ready and online if they need to use it. The 2 members falling on their team most likely will want to save it for the time being.
Wow, look at the damage output from Swagboy. So we questioned the Diva, hadn't seen him on it yet, but there is no surprise. He is very effective on this champion as well as the ultimate online. But how does West Craven answer to this so far? Huge heal coming out from Swagboy's teammate as well. Was very close to going down, but that was a massive way to keep them alive.
One-on-one versus Cesaria, kind of scary because that shield does empower them the more they get hit, but once you have your teammates, it's not going to matter. Getting another great kill onto the Bastion there, kind of forcing them off. Great missiles coming out, doing a lot of damage on to the opposing team. Right now, West Craven has not really been able to find an answer. We're able to pick up a few percentages there for the little bit, getting up to about 33%. But now, once again, in the favor of Durham School of the Arts, we do see the freeze coming out from the May, able to pick up a couple. Great job with the fallout from the rest of their team. They have a few more ultimates follow up if need be, and decide to use it. There is the Diva bomb. Will she find any kills? No, so she'll have to get back into that mech as soon as possible. On the opposite end, though, we do see West Craven finally picking up a kill. Can they find any more, or will they fall to Swag Boy here? He's doing so much damage. They are able to find a couple more. Can they find the kill onto the Moria? They can. Zario will be the next to fall, and a team kill out of Durham School of the Arts.
Durham so clean with it, and I don't know if West Craven have the time to come back and stop this capture. 5% to go. It does not feel like they will be able to. And, yeah, there's a few celebratory shots coming out, but it is over. What an impressive team fight. The ability of Swagboy to stay alive through everything and output so much damage. As the tank player, mind you, I mean, it's just been so impressive, and why Durham has been so much of a force to be reckoned with. And, of course, play of the game, it seems to always be this guy. Let's see what the play was. Looks like it was on the first point, getting the melee kill on the first. Going to fly to the sky to find that target. You can't run away from me, he says, and gets the 5-player kill streak. And so impressed by his gameplay. Can he keep it up throughout the rest of the season? He's trending towards the state championship in my eyes.
I think he can. He's doing a great job on not only 1, but 2 tanks as well. Swapped over to that Diva on the second point of that map and just showed absolute knowledge of that champion. Was able to use some missiles at the correct time, defense matrix at the correct time as well. Ultimate wasn't able to pick up too much, but of course it is a little bit easier to get away if you don't have any follow-up CC with it. But at the same time, utilize it in the correct way that they're able to get back into their mech and continue their onslaught against the team. But great job on their team to follow up as well. May doing a great job with those ultimates, also able to follow up. And West Craven did a good job on the first point, but were never really able to follow up and find an answer on point number 2.
You're exactly right. West Craven able to get to the 99 percentile on the first one, but it was just narrowly won by Durham School of the Arts. Second one, Durham just found their footing, it felt like, and really took over the game. But Game 2 is going to be a totally different story. They've got to see if they can bounce back and force a Game 3. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And here we have it. This is, I believe, Flashpoint. And so this one's going to be very similar to the last one that we just watched, but the uptick of points goes very quickly, and then the reset on the next point happens in real time instead of resetting the whole map. So both teams going to look to have full map control as they go from one zone to the next.
And utilizing the ultimates are going to be really important here. Sometimes if you maybe are going to lose that point, maybe it might be best to just regroup and get to the next point as soon as possible. That way you have some of an advantage on the terrain when you get there. As you see, we're moving past a couple that we're going to see. Really nice movement from the drone operator here at the moment. Looking at the comp, so no real surprise. Swag Boy moving back over to that wrecking ball, has so much speed, is able to get there. We do see the
right. And we do apologize for the audio delay there, but we are back and picking up where we left off. Clearly, Swag Boy hasn't stopped. He did not care at all about the audio issues. This man has been putting on a clinic. Another 10-kill streak. I feel like every single time we're on board with this guy, he is putting on at least a 10-kill streak.
He knows the ins and outs of the heroes he loves to use, and a great team to back up as well. It's a lot of trust that you have to put into your tank player to be able to play like this, but also great trust into the rest of your team to allow them to play like this. Finally going to get taken down there. There has the minefield on it, so it should allow them to still capitalize on a few more. We do see Visor online, and it's going to be used. Oh, instantly taken down, though, from the side of Durham School. They are truly unable to use that ultimate there. So we do see West Craven finally taking control of point number 2. So as we did, unfortunately, move past number 1 there. So we are on the second flashpoint here at about 97% for the side of Durham. 30% for the side of West Craven, finally able to take a little bit of control, has moved over on to this diva that they played so well on the second point on the last map.
Yeah, maybe just feeling this character a little bit more for the situation at hand, maybe going into this composition a little better. Somehow survived longer than we expected there. Now without the suit has a significantly lower health bar. Would like to get back into it as he does go down, but West Craven get 3 dead on either side. Was that somebody falling off the map there?
Great boot by the Brigitte to force that Moiga off the side. Unfortunately, even though he is Samoan, cannot swim, so he is going to fall to his death. But right now, we do see West Craven still has the majority control over this point. There it is, the diva coming back, going to go one-on-one with that Kiriko. Healer versus tank, but it shouldn't matter too much as the rest of West Craven's team is going to follow up. They actually get a great kill onto Brigitte, so that is 1 healer down, finding the second one onto the Sombra. They should be able to take this point if they can force off that diva, who is very low health. Defensive matrix not going to be enough, but does finally have the team to follow up. Missile Barrage going to pick up a kill on to the healer, so we are seeing Swag Boy come out in full force, but is it enough? Unfortunately not. And there it is. Great job. West Craven picking up the second point of this map, so it will be tied 1 apiece right now.
And their first point period in the series, maybe one of the first points that Durham has given up in their reign of terror throughout the season so far. So huge moment, I think, for West Craven. They have a chance to steal another one and potentially force a game number 3, but this has got to be a successful point hold here for them on this 3rd point.
All right, Sombra following, though, fairly quickly. Have to be careful. We actually see the 3rd tank coming out. Swag Boy also jumping onto that Moiga there. The Sombra will switch over to the Reaper. Echo will be falling, so good control out of West Side Craven right now. We're going to have the man advantage right now on this point, so we'll have to see how Durham is able to regroup and go into it. Right now, everyone is charging their ults except for that Kiriko, who has hers just coming up right now. The closest one will be that Echo on the side of school. Durham School aren't. Can they find any damage here? A lot of damage going on to all the members of West Side Craven. There it is. They're able to pick up 2 kills in quick succession. 3rd one is going to be close to follow the ultimate as well. The Moiga, those change should not be used at the moment. Yep, so they're going to save those and pick up control of point number 3 here and start to get some progression on it.
Honestly, a great opening, though, to this point from West Craven, able to secure the last one with a few members dead on the side of Durham Soda, but Durham Soda fighting back with a vengeance to regain control now, playing a bit forward on the point to force them back. They don't want to allow any free space to get close to the zone. I like this. You do not want to just sit back and wait for them to show up. You want to play in front of it and stop them if you can. Great entrance, though, from the Moiga on the opposite side. Moiga on Moiga violence here as they're both just unloading clips into one another. Finally, it will be 4 dead on the side of West Craven. Massive plays.
Massive Moiga ult into allowing the Reaper to get their ult off as well, getting a triple kill off of it. Those are the type of synergistic ults that you want to use together. The Moiga chaining them down with just the unrelenting shots coming out of the Reaper as well. It is going to help them retain control of it at the 90 percentile now. We only see one ult from the Currituck is online for the side of West Craven, and we do have the one from Brigitte as well online for the side of Durham School of the Arts. So both of them using those support ultimates coming out, but it is going to be in favor of side Durham School of the Arts. 10 kill streak on the side of that Reaper should allow them to get this last one. Benji doing his best to get on the point to try to stall it out, but it's not going to be enough.
Not going to be enough indeed. Now 2-1, so Durham fight back and earn the 3rd point in impressive fashion. Like we said, West Craven had the early control of that point, but Durham Soda fighting offensively and defensively to secure it. Now rotating to the next zone. Would like to get this 3rd one on board, but looks like a little bit of a skirmish breaking out en route to the next flashpoint. Neither team have secured it just yet.
Echo at 83% for that duplicate ultimate. Want to get that online as soon as possible. We're wondering who they might want to check. Maybe the Ash would be a good person to take that off of and able to use. But we see both of them trying to contest this point. West Craven stepping up a little bit to see if they can get a kill onto that Reaper, but Reaper will get healed up by the healers there. Duplicate, it will be online. Will they have to use it? They do. They actually use it on the Moiga so they can get the double tank out. Great job. Death Blossom coming out and is going to pick up another 2 kills. Once again, doing so good from the side of Durham School of the Art with that kind of pseudo tank from the Echo and the Moiga from Swag Boy, allowing the Reaper to get in and get that Death Blossom out and picking up those kills on West Craven. Right now, they just cannot be stopped.
Cannot be stopped indeed, and it's got to feel like the walls are closing in for West Craven. They need this next push to be successful and then to also hold off the following offensive effort. Swagboy has his ultimate online as well, so we'll have to see if those chains come out. You have to think that he would like to go ahead and use it. No point not to, but how does West Craven approach the situation?
All right, and we do see West Craven doing a good job kind of sticking and waiting for their team, but they have to make a play sooner or later here as we are at 90% for the side of Durham School of the Art. We see it coming out. Can they get the damage onto it? But they can't, as we do see Durham School of the Arts picking up the win on map number 2.
Map number 2 will secure it, so that will be a 2-0 victory for Durham School of the Arts. We see the GGs coming out in chat. And, man, this team just continues to impress me. We knew this would be a closer one as both these teams were undefeated going into this, but instead it is going to be Durham School of the Arts that take the 4-0 record going into week 5. And West Craven 3-1, but you know, you got to imagine they should be just fine to continue throughout the rest of the season, just kind of matching up against the Titan that is Durham School of the Arts. But on that note, that's going to do it for the first match. Looks like we do have a testimonial as well from Dante White, who won a PC through a STEM competition. So cool that we even have opportunities like that here at VESL. So if you guys are not included in those, make sure you take a look at it. But on that note, let's go ahead and jump into the video from Dante White.
This is my first time owning like a newer generation PC because, like I said, I had a Windows 98 that was.
Okay, so maybe not just yet. Looks like we're having a little bit of a video playback
got
issue.
Flash, and that's it.
Instead, we're going to actually go to a quick break. We'll get that sorted out, and we'll be right back.
a newer generation PC because, like I said, I had a Windows 98 that was like, oh yeah, we got Adobe Flash and that's it. You want World of Warcraft? No, but we can probably give you Wizard 101. But I'm excited because they've been talking to me about the STEM projects, and this can run Unreal Engine 5. Dante White, and I grew up in a forest mostly. For about the first 8 years of my life, we lived in what we called it the bottom because the entire area was encroached by trees. We had a lot of natural growing things there, berries, tomatoes, lettuce. It was good. So I was outside a lot for most of my early life. The first time I really got into using electronics and stuff like that, my brother got a PlayStation 2 with him and his uncle. And then like at school, we would go on like computer lab, and that's when I started getting into like the Flash stuff around the 2010s, 2015, Newgrounds. And I liked it, I really did. I've been here for about, I guess, a month because I joined like when they came for the lunchroom and introduced everyone. And I participated in a tournament. I had fun. It was my first time doing something like esports related instead of just watching on TV. I really like music as a hobby. I've been trying to make music, and I think I could use this to use better software because the GPU won't overheat and then explode in my face. I'm thinking about going to college to get an engineer's degree, start building robotics and stuff like that, maybe get into AI. They're really supportive, they're trying to help out, and they really want to get people there, and they make you feel included. It's a really outgoing community, and I think VESL's doing a great job of being good to new people and old people. You have a good platform for people who are like probably busy or doing other stuff because it is just hop in, talk, play, and hop out.
Love to hear stories like that from Dante White. You could be the next one in a story like that, winning a PC or one of these other awesome prizes through the Not Work platform. Make sure you guys are on there every day that you can be. There's so much cool stuff to be experienced and won as prizes as well. So now that we've gone through that, we've also watched Durham School of the Arts and Swag Boy proceed to dominate as they have throughout the season. We're going to jump into another game of Overwatch. We got JP Knapp Early College and New Bern. Let's go ahead and get into game number 1. And here we have it back on Nepal. Control once again, of course. And looks like, looking across the boards, I don't recognize many of these names, so maybe the first time we've seen these teams on broadcast so far.
Certainly, but not a bad time to join us. Wondering, like to see the different teams being played out to kind of see, how they're stacking up, how they're playing. Of course, it's great to get some screen time as well. Show your teachers, show your classmates what you're participating in here, and, kind of get them to join up as well. Doesn't have to be esports, can be STEM, but let's look at these team comps going forward. It looks like pretty similar to last time. We do have the Moiga, though, on JP Knapp, as well as the Reinhardt on New Bern. Those are going to be your frontliners, and, they really see a lot. Actually, we're seeing some swaps between Roadhog and Moiga as well. We'll have to see what they decide to pick as time is dwindling down here for the comps. Of course, you can always switch out, but, the tank players have really been seeming to set the tones for a lot of the matches we've been watching, as they are that front line. So we'll have to see how both of these play out with each other. Of course, we do have Bastion and Junkrat on the side, JP Knapp as that DPS to follow up against the Reaper over there as well. So we'll have to see how both of these teams go head to head. Reaper trying to get some damage, actually taking a fair bit of damage. Just going to have to Wraith walk out of there back to safety to the rest of their team. Luckily, they do have that to get them out.
Maybe not an expected route to find their opposition in that opening moment there, but now looks like JP Knapp going to take some early control. By the way, JP Knapp also undefeated so far, 3-0. Would like to keep that record intact, but have to get through New Bern to do so. It looks like Mopey Foot 53 loved the gamer tag. He's going to be the one on that tank, and let's see if he can open up space at the level that we have seen other tank players in the conference.
Getting kind of back and forth on the percentages here. We do see JP Knapp finally picking up the point, able to get past that 15% mark. New Bern, though, took first control, got about 9%, so not too bad for the first one, but they're going to want to get back as soon as possible. The Reaper, though, taking out the Junkrat, making sure that they didn't get killed by those little mines left behind. Seeming to see if they can get a flank there on the backside. Looks like they weren't able to pick up too much as they may have been spotted out. Right now, though, JP Knapp doing a good job controlling the Diva, getting onto the point, but being forced off there. Able to take down the mech. Doesn't look like they were able to take out the Diva, so she should be able to get mech to back up here pretty soon if she doesn't fall first. Has to get that mech built up, though. On the end, we do see this Reaper, though, has a Death Blossom online, but not going to use it just yet as they didn't have any follow-up from their team.
Yeah, this Reaper kind of playing on the edge of death over and over again, really utilizing that Wraith Walk to get to safety multiple times. But you got to think that they're positioning a little risky in some of these situations. They need to use this ultimate, I think, before being taken out, but going to wait for the right time here.
Cage fight did go down, but they weren't able to pick up any kills off of it. So actually, we are going to see the advantage still in the favor of New Bern right now. They still have 2 ults on the Reaper and the Bastion right now. We do see the Moira as well as the Bastion on the opposite side on JP Knapp having theirs. We'll have to see who starts using theirs first out here. Baptiste also picking his up, so that would be really nice if they can use that to get that buff from him at that time. There it is, the Bastion from JP Knapp dropping that barrage onto the field. But actually, we are going to see the Diva picking up 2 with that massive bomb right there to help have her team keep control. A third pickup from the Reaper at the end. Doesn't even have to use their ult just yet. Great job by the side of New Bern to keep control right now.
Huge pickups, honestly. They now have a comfortable lead into this point, as it's going to take a while for JP Knapp to get back into the action. Great teamwork, and also holding the space, holding the line before JP Knapp can get back into the action. And how do they approach this? You'd like to see maybe them wrap around and enter from the other side. We do see a change up from Mopey Foot on the champion selection here. But they are trying to force their way in, and they're walking right past this Reaper, and you cannot do that. This man will output the damage to you. Now 90% on the side of New Bern.
There goes the ultimate from the Juno to assist their team. We're looking at there the Death Blossom coming out. Not really able to pick up too much, but great zoning. Going to have to be careful there. But all they needed to do was force off JP Knapp to not get on that point. That's why you saw those ults being used at the end there, knowing that they can't keep them on to the next point. And really great vision by them to go ahead and take point number 1.
I had first said that I'd like to see him use the ultimate in the prior fight, but now that I see the way he used it to end that round, I totally agree with it. It kind of also just gives a little bit of added pressure to the opponent, knowing that you have it in your back pocket, and maybe makes it more difficult for them to make plays. But great start here from New Bern. Like we said, JP Knapp going into this undefeated. You got to be feeling good to take the first point here.
Look at that. Keep calm and reap on. Exactly what they were doing on that first point there. Love the spray paint coming out, giving us a little bit of fun there. We'll have to see them moving on to this point. We do have a lot of open edges, but as well as high ground that can be utilized on this point here. So we'll have to see how the teams go out. We do see JP Knapp swapping over to that Roadhog. Can they get the pull onto it? But at the same time, we actually see Torbjorn being taken out as well. The kill onto the Baptiste, though, will start off this fight. Can JP Knapp get the advantage with it?
Can they get the advantage? As you said, Junkrat taken to the skies here, getting some good damage down. Looks like they were able to secure the Slay onto Reaper. That's a big pickup right now. He was their primary damage dealer in the last point, so take him out of the picture for a little while. Should make this team fight a little bit easier while he tries to find his way back in. They do take down Vicious as well, and now that they have 2 more Slays and the spawns are a bit staggered, you got to feel like this is a huge advantage state for JP Knapp, but can they hold on to it?
Maybe the Roadhog was the recipe for success here from the side of JP Knapp. They're able to get a lot of kills. Of course, the kill feed kind of going crazy there because there's a lot of mechanical devices that have to be killed, especially off of Torbjorn. Some of those traps as well can be killed from that Junkrat as well. So we see a lot going on, but the ultimates might be coming out from both teams here, Junkrat and the Baptiste looks, or Sojourn actually being taken down on the side of JP Knapp should allow New Bern to move in here. They do have self-destruct online if they need it. Torbjorn moving up to about 95%, so we'll have that ultimate online as well here. So they do have the tools to hold the point as needed, able to move after the 30-point mark. just a little bit of Bev. And there, look at those kills that are coming out, though. There it is, self-destruct. Can it find anything? May have been a little too far, but actually picks up 1 kill. They're able to call the mech down just enough time before they get taken out as well. Big team fight between both of them going back and forth. 2 members on the side of JP Knapp. Will they be able to finish off the whole hog, doing so much damage, but Defense Matrix was able to keep the Diva alive just enough. A great pull onto the Juno will allow them to get the kill there. 3 kills on the side of New Bern will force them off of the point.
So impressive, the bounce back. New Bern had really taken control of the situation. We see another hook come out, but this time he's able to just wraith walk his way out of it. But, man, JP Knapp really had to fight to regain control of this. Both these teams seemingly pretty evenly matched. Right now, Reaper just trying to output some damage from afar. See if he can create some kind of opening for his team to follow up on. Now going to reposition through the outside. I like this. You want to have a little bit more space and angles to work with, but maybe doesn't follow through with it. Scared that he might get singled out. I think it would have been all right for him to at least peek and pull some attention to the other side. Now going to try to teleport to the center. This is a risky move. Will it pay off?
All right, the ultimate from Baptiste allowing them to get that buff, but there we do see Torbjorn actually using his as well. They're trying to get onto this point to take it back. All that lava on the ground is going to make it really scary. Diva doing so much to try to take away these traps and other points of contention, but will it be enough? There is a kill on the side of JP Knapp, though. So much damage coming out of the Sword Yard. They're able to get it and follow up on that Roadhog. He is so tanky, and once he hooks you in, you have no place to go. And just look at the advantage that JP Knapp is able to take forward in point number 2.
Really need this one as well. Obviously, this would be the end of the game should New Bern capture this one, but JP Knapp trying to force the 3rd point, and look at that, pulling his opponent right out of the zone. Says, you cannot contest that, sir. That's going to be my point. Oh. But L-Hound with the 5-piece out of nowhere just gets a team kill all by himself. Was that from one single ult and gets all 5? Are you kidding me?
Massive Death Blossom holding on to it until the exact last moment, wiping out the full JP Knapp team and reclaiming control of that point. I'm just lost for words after that. And those are the big plays you expect out of your DPS.
That was incredible. And they need to hold off the next one, though, and they're out of ultimates. That's the only issue here. Good news for them is JP Knapp doesn't have many ults to work with either, just Mopey Foot. And they already take down 2 from JP Knapp. This could secure game number 1. Have to clean this up, though, in the end game. Just make sure this doesn't get contested. Only 3% more to go, and I don't think JP Knapp can do anything to stop it. Wow. Huge win out of New Bern.
MVP right in front of us. That Reaper saving their team. L-Hound coming out with the most massive play that we are going to see right here. It could be none other than this to be the play of the game. Let's just take a look at it. Look at that. Jumping right into it and then just absolutely destroying the enemy team.
It was almost instant as well. I mean, you got to say the team did a good job of outputting enough damage to where the Death Blossom was able to finish all those players. But what an insane ultimate. That literally was the game-winning play. I think that if he does not do that, that team fight is a lot more difficult, and perhaps JP Knapp win that point and force a point 3. But you'd love to see any time that you can just get away with winning 2 in a row and going on to the next game. So very impressive. We know how good JP Knapp is. Can they bounce back in game 2? Let's jump into it. All right, so looks like one of the players still loading in here. See Reinhardt, the first click on the side of script, but now looking at the Diva across the board. We see some interesting picks. Let's see as they load in what options are taken here.
So we do see the Mercy coming out. JP Knapp is one we haven't seen just yet. Lucio as well. I do like the Lucio pick up a little bit more. Oh, very interesting. So it looks like they are out of the gates here. We are waiting on that reconnect. So, of course, it hasn't started just yet. We're waiting for all that to finish off. Maybe might have to remake the map as well to get everybody in it just in case. But, all right. Stay a little bit longer to see where we are going here as both of the teams are kind of going a little bit back and forth on it that we see in the top of the sides here for both of them. I was going to say, though, looking at the Winston pickup, I think it's really interesting as we are finally on this point waiting for it to open back up here. But both teams just kind of, there we are, finally pausing the match. We want to try to get everyone in. We want the games to be equal, right? We don't want it to be a 4v5 if possible. Sometimes you know how it is on the internet, get kicked off, or maybe your game has to restart that client. We've all been there. But interesting pickup. I did like the Winston. I wonder if they'll follow through with it going into game number 2. You know, he's really big, able to really close down the distances and put a lot of pressure. We've seen that from some other teams before. So I wonder if they'll jump onto it. But we talked a lot about the tanks, but L-Hound on that Reaper was just so massive in that game number 1, has been really the deciding factor in my opinion. I wonder if they'll be able to pick it up because, again, we're on the flashpoint. As you know, we do have the control points, but it is live. You do move from one to the other without the game stopping, which means that if they're able to build up that meter and they can get more massive Death Blossoms in those controlled spaces, then what does JP Knapp really do to follow up on that?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think that one thing that really impressed me too was New Bern's ability to play defense. When they did have the point secured, they often were the team getting the opening break kill into the next engagement. So it just makes life even more difficult for JP Knapp to engage in. In a game type like Flashpoint, defense is quite important. You know, as long as you have one strong defensive stance while you're in the point, you're likely to carry that to a successful point conversion. And then you're also able to rotate to the next one. So perhaps that level of defense could carry them into the next one. They seem to know how to manage those team fights extremely well together. But as we mentioned, as we started this match, JP Knapp comes into this series 3-0, currently undefeated, and New Bern, the first team to make them bleed, even taking a single game off of them. So can New Bern maybe take down one of the giants that we have here in the Sandhills region?
A lot of it is going to come down to the team play. As we saw, you have some standout players, but you do have the team play, which really helped them out. Let's go ahead and jump back into the match, though. We'll see how they do on map number 2 here. New Bern, of course, in the lead, 1-0 up after taking Nepal. It looks like we should get back. Both teams are going to ready up there. We do see the R's coming out, showing that they are ready to start. The unpause will come out, so we were finally able to get that last player in the lobby, thankfully. So we should get to go here in a moment. All practice time is over, and it now is do or die for JP Knapp.
See if L-Hound goes back to the Reaper. I don't see why you wouldn't after making the play of the game, but you know, there are some reasons to switch on to different champions based on the map or mode combination, or as it is related to your teammates' composition and the opponent's composition. So lots of different things to think about here. How do you best fit into the puzzle piece of this particular situation? Does look like the Reaper will be locked in again. Disillusion maybe being a bit inspired by L-Hound's play in the last game. He's also going to be on the Reaper. And looks like some interesting picks across the board here.
We do see the Doomfist. I wonder if they will decide to stay on it. I would love to see some Doomfist coming out. We haven't seen Doomfist as much being played, but of course, very mobile champion, very hard-hitting champion, our hero as well. Lifeweaver also being changed up. We haven't seen too much Lifeweaver come out, but New Bern is going to opt to take him also. So looks like everything else staying pretty similar across the board. We do have the Sojourn and the Reaper for the DPS, and then the Juno as the second healer on the side of New Bern. They're both going straight into it, though. No holds bar. Going to want to take this first point. What great stun coming out of the side of New Bern. Should be able to pick up a couple kills. That is the power of that Doomfist right there, and showing automatically able to pick up the first team kill before the point is even capped.
Wow, and L-Hound picking up where he left off, outputting massive amounts of damage in that first opening sequence. Now, like I said before, their defense was so strong in game number 1. If they just have one strong defensive play here, they should be able to secure this. But JP Knapp have something to say about it. Reinhardt coming in hot right into the engagement. He's going to have to reposition, though, and has his whole squad behind him. But this has to be a successful team fight. Looks like they will be stunned and pushed back quite a bit by New Bern. And how does this one develop?
All right, 51%. They kind of have to start making their moves now, but of course they're against such a tanky team. There it is, the Meteor Strike online for the Doomfist, and he's going to go ahead and use it. Will he be able to hit? There it is, almost getting the kill. A Wraith walk away from that Reaper will keep them alive for the time being, but it's not going to matter as he punches his way to victory, getting 2 outright there and allowing his team to follow up. Reinhardt trying to get onto L-Hound, might be able to finally find the kill, but it's not going to matter as we already see 90% of that point being taken, and there's no way he can jump on it himself.
Wow, New Bern really trying to slam the door shut on this series. JP Knapp have to be reeling. Currently, it's the first time that they have faced adversity in our Overwatch season. Now, it looks like they do have the early positioning on the next point. That's pretty massive. Not setting foot into it yet, though. Maybe don't want to reveal their location. Trying to bait New Bern into it before they set foot, but have to wonder if maybe that early decision could come back to bite them, as that was some extra time they could have earned.
All right, we're looking at it, and these kills without even having to burn any of those ults except for the Juno is going to be massive out for the side of New Bern. They're doing their best to get it. Moria using hers, but unable to pick up. Overclock and Death Blossom still online for the side of New Bern right now. Don't have to use them just yet. Looks like they might be trying to set up for something. They get the kill on the Reinhardt. There goes the tank in that beefy front line, making the rest of JP Knapp have to move out. They get the kill on the opposing Sojourn as well. We do see Doomfish is jumping into everyone's face, as is his character, and getting some of the kills as well. Jumps right into them. Is going to go ahead and get out with so much mobility. It is so hard to get a kill on him.
Yeah, I mean, the movement on these players, so impressive so far, able to weave in and out of offense and defense. Now, Junkrat trying to opt for these projectiles, uses the mine to reposition, and just trying to chase these players down, uses the mine to push themselves and their opponent away from each other, and now going to be regrouping with their teammates, but multiple going down on the side of New Bern. And suddenly JP Knapp got to be feeling a little bit better about the situation, although they have a lot of ground to make up, as New Bern has already accumulated 68%, and this Reaper is back online. Might be a matter of time before we see another Death Blossom come out.
All right. Okay, finally we see New Bern kind of moving out. They were trying to go in and forcing the issue a little too much. At the moment, they finally regrouped as a team. They have some good ultimates online, although we do see the Shatter and Overclock online as well for JP Knapp. There it is, big Shatter coming out, but it doesn't matter, as once again, L-Hound with the massive Death Blossom picking up 4 people. The Shatter was almost a bait for his team as they pick up the team kill.
Are you kidding me? This man is the best Reaper we have seen so far. He's given us a little dance to add to it as well. I mean, he gets the 5-piece in the last game, gets the 4-piece here. His teammate took that last kill for the 5-piece, but incredible ultimate usage out of L-Hound.
Meteor Strike coming out to try to get some kills to Zenyatta, having to pop their ult to keep everyone alive. Riptire also being used in succession. Can they find some kills? But 2 kills already onto the side of JP Knapp. It might spell their doom on this point here. They're trying to fight for the overtime, but it is not going to be enough. This should be New Bern picking up this point and forcing the control point number 3 out of this flashpoint. And it is just insane, their synergy here from the side of New Bern, picking up point number 2. And I have to commend L-Hound on his patience, waiting for the Shatter to strike before going in, knowing that if they don't get CC'd, they'll be able to kill everyone, and picking up that 4-piece.
I don't know about that teleport, though. That was a bit risky, trying to maybe show off a little bit too much, but always has that get-out-of-jail-free card, the Wraith Walk to get to safety. Always coming in handy if you find yourself in the wrong spot. But so far, it is a better position, I think, for JP Knapp onto the next flashpoint, as it's now unlocked and online. But, wow, okay, we've got multiple members coming in from the backside here. New Bern not going to get away with that, though. They end up getting separated, where 2 of them kind of tried to go in the zone early while the rest of the team was not there yet, and they're going to get punished for that.
They are indeed. Control on point number 3 for JP Knapp right now. They still have the 2 ultimates online. Right now, only ultimates online for New Bern are those healers, so you have some good support, but not the ones that are really going to be making game-changing plays at the moment. We do see them trying to go in here, the Doomfist trying to be that front line, but of course not as tanky. Does have some good CC, but it's not going to matter as we do see a couple kills coming out. JP Knapp once again. There it is, Shatter online. We will hear it coming out, being used. They are able to find some kills off of it this time. Much better use out of that ultimate going forward here. But the Death Blossom is here. We've seen so many kills out of it last time, but gonna opt to keep it as they don't have any teammates to follow up or, you know, kind of use as a distraction. So good use on holding those right now. Honestly, they can probably let this point go and not really force it, but they might want to go into it. There it is, the Death Blossom once again. And we do have a Meteor Strike possibly coming out to follow up on it. There it is, going to help him overclock as well, helping the Sortier and get the kill. Only one for the Reinhardt, but he's going to follow swiftly after. And there it is. They say, no, we're not going to give this up. We're not going to listen to the caster. We're going to keep it. We're going to force the overtime, pick up control of it, and start their progression on point number 3.
Yeah, he did not care about your opinion at all. And that one, he said, I'm going to go straight in, contest this ultimate, and then somehow stay alive as they do get another team kill. Now, JP Knapp got to be careful with this engagement. They can take their time, but they don't. And Big Man L getting taken down early in the fight. Now it is answered back by taking down Script, the tank of New Bern. So now that the tank is down, you might see a stronger push come out. But Disillusion coming off spawn, now switch over to the Junkrat. Has the wheel online as well. But what can they do with it?
They have to set up some of these points here.
Oh!
They're able to get it. Great hook into the
trap.
Juno. Nice. That is one of the classics. Both of those from Junktown moving off of each other. They're trying to hold on to this overtime and see if they can force it, but it's not going to matter as JP Knapp will be able to take their first point of map number 2.
Okay. Next flashpoint has been revealed. It's not available to attack just yet. Both teams going to try to play for some positioning here. We'll have to see if a fight breaks out on the way. It looks like the flashpoint is being approached from both sides here, but a inevitable meeting here as New Bern will be the first to be in it. It's not active just yet, but can they hold off the pressure from JP Knapp?
Moira and Squadron do have their ultimates online and available, none online for the side of New Bern, so they are going to have a couple members following their Orisa though. So big and does a lot of damage, is going to be able to find up a separate kill, but there's another hook onto L-Hound. These hooks are doing so much. We do have the ultimate for that Roadhog as well. There it is, the whole hog being used. Not only does it do so much damage, but it knocks you back as well and finds a kill onto the Orisa at almost max range there. Great job by them picking up kill after kill and getting control of this 4th point.
Huge opening. This is kind of the JP Knapp we've been expecting to see. This is the undefeated team going against a team that has yet to find their first victory as well. So I mean, this feels like it should be a runaway for JP Knapp, but only now are they kind of showing that. New Bern still with a strong lead, not only in the series, but also in this game. JP Knapp coming online here could make a difference, but here comes the push from New Bern. It's looking good so far. Reaper has the Death Blossom online. Will he elect to use it? Might not need to, as it looks like a lot of these players are going down anyways. Elhound now, yes, going to just comfortably finish this one. No. Looks like Sombra able to blink out and stay alive for 1 extra second, but it is going to be a successful fight for New Bern as they now are on the board.
Great job by New Bern taking control of this point. They are on match point as well, so if they can take control of this and capture it, they will take the 2-0 victory over JP Knapp. So they're doing their best to try and get that. We do see some ultimates up there. Of course, the Orisa is so tanky, and actually great hook on to the Reaper, going to pull them off of the edge. So great job there, but it's going to say, you push my player off, I'm going to push your player off. Great job by the Orisa forcing the Roadhog off, the ultimate being used, kind of more zoning there than anything else, but nonetheless will allow their team to take control. There it is, Riptire coming out. Will they be able to take it? It will actually kill the Orisa with 2 kills there. It looks like JP Knapp should be able to get onto the point here. Death Blossom still online, but of course with no team members to follow up, they have to be very careful with that ultimate. But they get in and use it, but he's going to get knocked back and will get taken down, and that is the risk of using it without your team there.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. we gotta wait for a better time, but just wanting to teleport in and go for it, I mean, would have been all right if teammates were available to follow up and finish up that damage, but unfortunately he's just going to be taken down, and then also gets disconnected from his team. Okay, he's offline, or back online here, seeing if he can regroup with the squad. 99% has Newburn. JP Knapp just need to hold on for one more play here. Looks like Diva's going to get forced out of the situation, so can JP Knapp hold on, though? It should be contested here. No, they did. They actually earned it. So 2 points now for JP Knapp. They've tied it up. And then, unfortunately, Diva finds the drink. Yeah, that suit's not designed to swim, unfortunately.
We'll have to see if they switch off now. So it looks like a little bit of misplay on their boosters there, falling off the edge. Maybe a little bit of repositioning. Actually, okay, so they do switch to the Sigma, so it was a bit more of a tactical death there on their end. Juno having the ult, Life Weaver should follow up shortly, but they don't have any of the DPS ultimates online. Tyre and the Death Blossom are a bit a ways away right now. Do have plenty of time, but we'll have to see how they play this out. Moiga actually doing so much damage on to the Junkrat and going to force him away for the moment. They should be able to get control of this, as you see them already at 7% right now. They are on the match point. They want to even up this series if possible, but L Hound doing a great job picking up the first kill there, and Juno following up with a second. Can they get control of this? Finally making the Juno blink away as much as possible. The cage fight has come out, but do they have enough damage to follow up on it? It looks like they do not. A bit of a wasted ult coming out of the Moiga there, and Newburn should be able to get control. They do, making it just a little under 50% for JP Knapp. Great job by them.
JP Knapp had the start on this point, got all the way to 46% before being forced out by Newburn. Newburn, they can play that great defense that we've been talking about here, could steal it, but we know how effective JP Knapp can be. Looks like a teleport comes out just to reposition here. Now, it's a nice little headshot there to output some extra damage, but kind of feel like the Death Blossom is probably coming. If a lot of opponents enter here, might go for it. Does not now, but he doesn't need to, as his team is getting so many slays in a row, 3 in a row. JP Knapp now reeling, and this is a do or die moment. I think that might actually be it, because JP Knapp not going to be able to get back in time to really make a contestation here.
There was a great Gravitix Flux from the Sigma, helping them get control and get a kill onto it. But now they have 2 DPS ults. There's the Riptide coming out. Will we see a Death Blossom to follow? Yes, it is. They are getting the kills that they need. As you said, not enough time for JP Knapp to really get on the point. They had to force it, but it's not going to be enough. And Newburn will take the series 2-0.
What an insane victory for Newburn. Going into this, they were 0-3 going up against the JP Knapp 3-0. I think just by looking at that alone, nobody would expect Newburn to be the team to come out on top, but something, maybe they've been watching some Overwatch Jake videos, because this team looked to know exactly what to do and win. We saw some very impressive plays across the board from this squad.
We did, and very synergistic team plays as well. Not just one person making the play. They really knew how to utilize those ultimates well together. Only one miss, I would say, from L Hound, who was my player of the series as well, doing such a good job on that Reaper. Those Death Blossoms were massive across the board, and even outside of those, just really able to follow up new positioning really well, kept himself alive for the majority of the time to help his team, and just great job by them picking up their first win of the season.
Seriously, great stuff to Newburn. Maybe going to ride this momentum into some more victories throughout the rest of the season. JP Knapp, got to look back at that VOD and figure out what went wrong. How were they able to be dismantled by this team when they've had so much success? Maybe need to go back to the drawing board on those map and mode combinations. But let's take a look at how everybody else has been faring throughout the season with our leaderboard on the right side here. We've got Westover and Durham Arts, both 4-0. Looks like JP Knapp now 3-1 after what we just witnessed. And then down toward the bottom there, looks like, yeah, JP Knapp B also 1-3. But, yeah, impressive showing across the board here.
New Bern A moving to that 2-2. As you see, though, a really big one that we kind of talked about in college football was the point difference. We see the round difference as being one of the tiebreakers here on our side. You want to win as many rounds as possible and keep your opponents to the less amounts as well, as we see on the side of CMS having 21 teams. There are a lot of them, so we're seeing the scoreboard move over, or the leaderboard move on their side. But on our end, you know, we are seeing some of these teams in the middle of the pack actually doing pretty well. Jones Senior actually on that 50% mark, but having the positive one on the round difference is going to keep them up in the top 10 as well. Richmond Senior High, New Bern kind of competing to see who will get that as well when they move forward. So of course, make sure you win those rounds and make sure you keep the enemy team or your opposing school from winning a round as well. You want to get those 2-0s as much as possible, and if you get forced to a 1v1, you want to make sure you win as well, so you can keep that win rate as high as possible. But, you know, we're starting to shape up. As you said, we are past the halfway mark. It's starting to, you know, get to the point where you have to make these plays for some of those wins. If you haven't watched those videos, we have so many amazing videos coming out for you. Let us know what you might want to see in some future videos as well, because we have all ears open to help you out.
Absolutely. Jake has been keeping an eye on what's been going on. I think he's got a VOD coming out soon where he's going to review one of the games that he watched from you guys, so make sure you do not miss that. But that is going to do it for today's show. Tomorrow we should have, I believe, Super Smash Brothers. So make sure you do not miss that. And until next time, we'll see you guys then.